Yo, it's your boy Ryan, Northwest Sports Fanatics, back at you with a new video. Today is Tuesday, June 27th, 2023, with your boy Ryan and the Northwest Sports Fanatics. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Smash that like button either now or on your way out. Donate to your boy if you can. Cash App, $ ORIONNWSF, or the YouTube Super Chat right here. We got the Washington Nationals versus Seattle Mariners, game number 2. First pitch in about 10 minutes. Hopefully we can end up winning this matchup. Any type of matchup against a team that has a below 500 record or a worse record than us, we want to make sure we can take advantage tonight. And we got the dub yesterday, so that was good. Started off on a good note there with game 1. And, getting that 8-4 win, I didn't really know how we were going to win that game. And Castillo started a little slow. And then obviously picked up the pace as we got a little bit further along. And then today we got Brian Wu. So hopefully he's the Marco Gonzalez replacement. We got a similar lineup to last night. So I'm definitely hoping that good things happen as we're transitioning into first pitch. Let's go, baby. And I'll get into the starting lineups here in just 1 second. And I had to put Castillo on the thumb. I haven't, or not Castillo, but Suarez on the thumb. It's been a minute. So I was like, all right, we've got to switch it up, get somebody new on there. One's looking good. And let's go into the starting lineups for the Nats. All right, leading off for the Nationals, right fielder Lane Thomas. Batting second baseman Luis Garcia. Batting third baseman Jaime Candelario. Batting cleanup and batting fourth, DHing for Washington, Joey Meneses. Batting fifth, left fielder Corey Dickerson. Batting sixth, catcher Hebert Ruiz. Batting seventh, first baseman Dominic Smith. Batting eighth, shortstop C.J. Abrams. And batting ninth, center fielder Derek Hill. And on the mound for the Nats, Jake Irvin. 1-4 record, 4.71 ERA, 1.52 whip, 42 innings pitched, 41 hits, only 33 Ks, 22 walks, giving up 4 homers. Nothing intimidating about Jake Irvin. So we should be able to get this done. But again, shoulda, woulda, coulda. We will wait and find out. And hopefully we can get off to an early start like we did. And I hope Wu does well. I'm shooting for 10 Ks. If we can get 8 to 10 Ks out of our maybe number 5 pitcher. And honestly, there's nothing really bad with that. I mean, hell, you're pitching a little bit better than Logan Gilbert at this point. So, and I got all brand new photos. So obviously, this is the first time I've been able to put up Suarez, Gino, Eugenio. I haven't, put him up. So this is the first time this season. So it feels good. And I was like, you know what? Let's go all out and let's get something fresh for everyone. All right, leading off for the Mariners, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Nice little high five after a homer. Love that photo. Very crisp. Batting second, center fielder Julio Rodriguez. And that's a brand new one. Haven't seen that one before. Batting third, first baseman Ty France. Ooh, I like that one. Batting fourth, cleanup for Seattle, right fielder Teoscar Hernandez. Batting fifth, big dumper, catcher Cal Raleigh. Batting sixth, third baseman Eugenio Suarez. Batting seventh, left fielder Jared Galenik. Batting eighth, DHing for Seattle, Mike Ford. And batting ninth, second baseman Colton Wong. And on the mound for our Mariners, Brian Wu. Let's go. Never in a million years would I thought that Bryce Miller and Brian Wu would be as good as they are. We already knew George Kirby was going to be good when we drafted him. Castillo was good from the Reds, so we knew we were getting there. Gilbert was always pretty good, but it's always nice to be surprised once in a while, and I do like Brian Wu. Like I said, I think the pecking order right now, even though Castillo is the one, I'm kind of thinking right now Bryce Miller, might be our one, then Luis Castillo at the 2, then George Kirby at the 3, right? Then maybe Brian Wu, right, at the 4, Marco Gonzalez at the 5, and Logan Gilbert 6, and Marco is injured. So, I mean, hell, if you got Logan Gilbert, who used to be our 1, and if he's our 6th best, I mean, I just feel that some of these pitchers on the top end, Wu, Miller, Kirby, Castillo, they have the it factor. They have, the stuff. And Logan's stuff isn't really heaters. It's just kind of, it's just there. So we'll see where it goes. But I'm hoping that we can end up getting this dub. And again, we still have everything situated like before. So if anyone wants me to, move some things around, I can always do that. But again, we got our, our standard look. Nothing has changed there. We got that. And then boom, you want to go from standard to, a little close up of some statistics. I got you. Boom. You want to fade away a little bit, and then we want to add some things. Bing, bong, right there. Okay. Then we go to the view where we're going to do a majority of the stats. And then, if people got the OCD and they need me on the left-hand side, bada bing, bada boom, bada booey. So you boys got it. So, I'm always going to be adding little pieces here and there, different angles and whatnot. But, hope everyone is doing good. Sarah in the building, what's good? Let's get to 100 in donos. Let's do it. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Every dollar counts. Thank you. What's the score of, and I appreciate you helping out on the Twitter very, very much. No, every dollar counts. $5 holla. That definitely is that's going to help. Like I said, anytime, you end up, having bills and you only get paid once a month, like most people get paid weekly or bi-weekly. But when you only get paid once a month and everything that you do now, you don't get paid or rewarded for it till the following month. So sometimes, with the Cash App and the, the other options, Venmo, sometimes you need that to kind of survive or pay bills because sometimes you don't have enough money to get things situated when you're waiting, on a certain amount. So thank you so much. I appreciate you. What do you want to see for a photo? Sarah Small, the best mod on planet Earth. $5 holla. $5 holla. Thank you. I appreciate you very much. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $5 holla. Thank you. Appreciate you. 4-2 Cardinals. Nice. Who's doing good for you today? Is it Nolan Arenado? Because that's what obviously you want me to pull that up. So I will do that for you. No problem. All right, let's get this situated here. Let's get some Nolans for you. $5, 95 to go, and we'll see if we can get there. So I'm going to delete some. It says I got too many because it only allows you, I think, have like 100 photos like on tap. So sometimes you got to, make adjustments. But I like to have options. I like to be able to have, quite a few. But sometimes you got to make some room here. I guess got an excessive amount of Mariner photos and whatnot. And like I said, I tried to replace all of Seattle. So I have like my main ones. I have like backups. But then I also wanted to sprinkle in, some new ones too. Oh, I got to get you your Cardinals logo too. We got to do it right? There we go. All right, Brian Woo's coming to the mound. Appreciate you for your $5 dono. I will always take care of you. Oh, I was going to say, I got an Arenado and Gorman. I got another Nolan. I got all my Nolan files all mixed together. I'll get you a few more here once we get to a commercial break. Since we're getting Brian Woo getting started already. Let's go, baby. All right, and leading off for the Nats, right fielder Lane Thomas. Batting second baseman Luis Garcia. As you can see with the thumb, you made an appearance. And batting third baseman Jeimer Candelario. Let's go, M's. Come on, baby. Let's go, baby. And on the mound, we got my boy, Brian. Woo! Let's go. 4 starts, 1-1 record, 5.09 ERA. But again, when he first started, his ERA was like 30. It was like $1 billion, but he still had a few Ks, even though he only pitched a couple innings. Like anytime you get rocked, but you end up getting like 3 or 4 Ks in just a couple innings, and then you improve that. The next start, try to get 5 or 6 Ks, and then even if you lose, then you try to get 8 to 10 Ks, and he's been kind of doing that. So, regardless if he's getting wins, or he has to go out early, the Ks have been improving. The strike zone has been improving, and honestly, I think he's got more stuff as like a 6th rounder than even Logan Gilbert at this point. Like Flexen, they decided to option down. So he was the worst fill-in pitcher that we had. Every time he goes in, he gives up a homer. But obviously as other guys, Robbie Ray went out, obviously Bryce Miller came up, thank God. And now Woo is, he's wooing the hell out of everybody. And I like it. Feel bad for Logan Gilbert. Hopefully he gets his confidence back, but we will see. All right, come on. Yes, I just read the story. I wanted to read exactly. So it was actually Jimmy Johnson's wife's parents, and then like the mom and the dad, and then like the grandson or whatnot there. It's just terrible. I guess more information will come out, but prayers up for Jimmy and the other extended family and whatnot. And super sad, but it shows you mental health, regardless if we have COVID or not, is a big deal. Popped up. Julio. There we go. 1 away. But it's definitely something that I think, people don't talk about enough. You definitely need to be able to, talk things out. But sometimes people feel that, they don't have anyone to talk things out with. And then they take drastic measures into their own hands. And all of a sudden, we got family members and friends that are alive. And then the next minute we're like crying and, we're like, oh my God, and, sometimes people feel like, oh, I could have maybe did something. But I mean, ultimately, the people that have the main issue have to seek help. They can't isolate, or if they're doing something, to hurt themselves and whatnot. So prayers up for Jimmy and the family. Obviously I always like seeing Jimmy out there, even though he's old now and he's an OG, but anytime you get someone old school back in a car, like a Dale Jr. or a Jimmy Johnson, it's cool. They're not going to win or probably even finish in the top 10, but it's just cool. Nostalgia, right? A little ground out there. 2 away. All right, come on, Woo. And rest in peace to Ryan Mallett for drowning in Florida. Yeah, I know, kind of a Debbie Downer news day. It's like, where's the uplifting DeAndre Hopkins signing or the Dalvin Cook, someone other than the Dolphins, so we can actually act like we're surprised? It's like the news has been so boring for the NFL. They're just reaching for any little type of minor story to make it like it's major, but it is what it is. And yeah, Mallett was so young. It just super sad. Let's go, M's. Top of the first. 2 outs, 1-0 pitch. Woo. Candelario. Let's go. So Sarah, out of all the options, you like this one the best, because like I said, we still got the ticker, still able to, have the photos and we can have the full picture. But this is and like I said, things are pretty versatile. We can, whatever direction or vibe, whatever we feel. And if there are people come in and they want to see something different, we have flexibility. So it's not like we're doing necessarily one thing the whole way through. And I don't know, it's kind of cool, to be able, and I can, like I said, I have 5 made now. And so now I have 3 more. Oh, little bloop single. Damn it. Woo just gave up a little bloop single there, Candelario. But yeah, and I have options to do like 3 more, I think. So, and I don't necessarily have to use all of them in the stream, but it is kind of nice to be able to have a different perspective instead of just having the same look the whole stream. Let's go M's. Let's do that. Yeah, I mean, we already knew, and I've been talking about that, even like for years now, that, obviously we need someone that's mentally tough, but will he take, maybe more or less money and come to Portland rather than going back to Golden State and actually having a chance to win another title? I guess it just depends if he wants to play with Dame and try to bring something to Portland, or if he, just wants to go back and win a championship. Jordan Poole's gone, so his problem is gone. So I would assume Golden State will do whatever they can to get him back. And it's probably in Draymond's best interest, unless he just already feels he has everything to prove. He already proved it. He already has won many, many titles. Maybe he can try to bring Portland a title with Dame, or maybe not even a title, but just be more relevant. So Draymond can pair up. But it sounds like, Jeremy Grant obviously would be good, re-signing him, but I don't know if we have the money for that. Then Draymond, and then Dame, and then we still got a nice rookie class, with Scoot. So it's like, I liked our draft this year, but I don't know. I don't know. And there's a few others like Siakam, Bridges would be kind of nice in Portland too. But ultimately, if I had my first choice, it would be Draymond Green, just because of his toughness, and he would bring something that we haven't had in Portland in a long time, since maybe we had Brian Grant and Rasheed Wallace and Sabonis. We probably haven't been tough since then. So been a while. NBA free agency Friday in the draft. There we go. Top of the first, we're at 0-0. Runner at first, 2 away. Popped foul. All right, come on, Woo. Strikeout rate this season, 26.1% versus lefties, 37.3% versus righties. And I don't really get too excited, for, maybe a fifth, option. And Woo just, oh my God, are they going to score a run here? Jesus. Wow. Okay, so the Nats were on first base. Woo throws to first. Ty France is not there. It bounces off the wall. The guy goes from first base, Candelario, right? It goes over France's. It's like way, way right, like 5 feet too far right. The guy goes from first to second, second to third, third all the way home. Off just one wild pitch over past, first base, and it hit the wall, and Teoscar finally got it. That's ridiculous. See, that's how you lose games right there. Everything was cool until he threw a wild throw to France at first, and now a guy from first base ran all the way home. That's ridiculous. Now we get out of the inning, and he's pissed. 1-0 Nats. What the heck is going on? Unbelievable. Brutal. That's like the cheapest one run I've seen in a minute. Stolen base, another stolen base, another stolen base. Unbelievable. All right. Well, hopefully something good will come out of that. I mean, especially when you're like the fifth, you're like fifth in the rotation. You're coming up, and you're trying to replace someone that got hurt. There's no expectations, and man, hopefully we can bounce back from that. 1-0 Nats, very cheap 1-0. All right, leading off for the Mariners, one of my favorite shortstops in the league, J.P. Crawford. Batting second, center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Let's go, J-Rod. And batting third, first baseman, Ty France. And on a lot of the photos, I tried to get ones where, you could see their last name with the swing. But sometimes, they have the swing, and like for this one with Teoscar. You can see a little bit of the name. A little home run swing there. Let's go, baby. Got to make up this one run, hopefully sooner than later. Come on, JP. Come on, baby. One 0 pitch to JP. Pitch is high. 2 balls, no strikes. JP Crawford, 245 average, 6 homers, 26 ribbies in 2023. Come on, JP. Takes a strike looking, 2-1 count. What's up, Brandon? What's good? I think he's trash. I mean, he had some moments, in the last couple years where there was a little hope with him. You know what I mean? But he kind of turned into the Marco Gonzalez that we had years ago. At one point, he was our best pitcher. Now, normally he was our worst, but this year started off kind of hot, 4-1, 5-1, and then got hurt. So, and then Flexen had to step in. Robbie Ray was out. But when Flexen was in there, I mean, it's just home run after home run, big hit after big hit. So when he got optioned down, that didn't hurt my feelings one bit. We have other guys that can step up. And I'm not necessarily talking about guys like Brash and moving him to be a starter. We don't necessarily need that. His role with Topa, and then obviously with Munoz and Seawald, we got our guys there. But it might be some of the others, that you might be like, I'm not sure about Adcock or Malone, but, obviously Flexen deserved to be, in my opinion, called down. Pitching, is kind of a strength for us, but sometimes we don't get the run support. And a lot of our records for our pitchers are much lower than they should be. They're under 500. They're at 500. We all know Castillo could be like 7-3, 6-4. Kirby could be 6-4, 7-3. Bryce Miller's got a good, I think 5-3-ish or something. But a lot of our guys, they don't have records that match their talent. JP crushes one foul. Count still stays 2-2. Bottom of the first, 1-0 Nats. But that's kind of my feeling on it. Draymond, yeah. Michigan State, you already knew. And then back then it was with, Mateen Cleaves, the guy with the beard, the point guard. It's kind of funny how, you don't watch something for a long, long time, but you still have those memories. Izzo. So that's a Big Bang Theory, like the Sheldon brain, but with sports. But, when you keep watching more and more and more, and then more and more wrestling, and then more and more baseball, basketball, football, hockey, NASCAR, sometimes things get a little hazy, but most of the time, if I think about it hard enough, it'll kind of come to light. Come on, JP. Thank you. It'll help. $5 holla. And it is. I mean, like I said, every dollar counts. Struck him out. Damn it. I appreciate you. I'm just happy that I have, someone that can see the long term. Sometimes things are rough. And I imagine some days, in the past that we've done have been more rough than maybe you ever even anticipated, but, we're very resilient. And we know when we got something good. It's just a matter of getting the right people in the room at the right time and just continuing trying to improve the channel so that way we can get some newbies and grow, right? $5 holla. Julio up to bat next. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. Appreciate you. $5 holla. Yeah, I was actually watching Monday Night Raw. I was getting caught up with that before I came on here. Julio, little grounder to second. 2 away. Damn it, Julio. I like this new Julio too. I don't got too many of him in the blue. Sometimes they have like favorites on what they got, but All right, 2 away, 1-0 Nationals, bottom of the first. Next up, first baseman, Ty France. And I'm glad I decided to kind of go through some of these other ones because it's always nice to kind of, get something new. Yeah. Ty France right up the middle. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Let's go, baby. Nice little single, Ty. Next up, right fielder, Teoscar Hernandez. Let's go, Teo. He's been on a little bit of a heater like Julio. I mean, it was a bit of nice if it was at the same time in the first 50 games with Kelenic. He was the only one. And then been a little chilly, cooled down a little bit. But now we got 2 more guys in Julio and Teoscar that are heating up. I just want, 3 or 4 at the same time would be great. I know that's asking a lot, but Ty France with that nice little single there. Oh, good. I'll get you some young bucks. Absolutely. Teoscar. Back. Gone! What a catch by that guy in the outfield. Edgar Martinez jersey with an awesome catch. He flew back into his seat and caught that homer. That was awesome. Let's go. Teoscar Hernandez, back. Go, baby. That's why I chose this photo, baby. 2-1 Mariners. There we go. Just like when I was saying, hey, guy's been on a heater. I like it when it comes true and they show the guy here on the TV. I mean, he had a mitt, and it was a home run ball in the outfield, right? And he went back and jumped back into his chair because, obviously it was starting to go over his head, put his glove up, slammed into the back of the seat with his back, but he got the ball and everyone cheered. And that one will be on SportsCenter. There's just certain ones, and he caught it too. So I love that, man. Like if I was like, even close to that guy, I would go over to that guy and dap him up. Usually I do that. If I see someone close in my section that gets something crazy, I'll give him a little dap. Next up, big dumper, catcher, Cal Raleigh. And this is a kind of a sequential photo to the one that I normally use. And then I got this one. So this was like when it first happened. Oh my God, did I hit a home run? It's like, did I do that? Yes, you did. He realizes it. And then I even got another one. Woo! Cal. Let's go, baby. Ohtani, it's amazing how good he's doing. And it's, it's very clear. We're not even at the All-Star break, and you could have asked most people a month and a half ago, who's the MVP? Regardless if it's American League, National League, but it pretty much has been Shohei Ohtani. I mean, obviously with Yordan Alvarez getting a little banged up and obviously Judge, those are the only ones that can catch him in the American League. Popped up. Out number 3, but at least we got some damage done by Teoscar Hernandez, baby. Yes. What a catch. Oh, wow. He actually I landed on a girl. There was a girl. I don't know if he knows the girl, but he almost smashed her face. I guess like when he went back, there was a girl sitting there, like an older, maybe, I don't know how old she was, maybe 30, maybe 25 to 45. And he kind of crunched her a little bit, but not too bad. She wasn't hurt, but he caught the ball. That was wild. Yeah, it's very clear. And then we'll see what happens with Cy Youngs and whatnot. Obviously, we knew Strider was doing very, very well in the National League, and Acuna obviously is balling. So we'll see kind of how things go. There might be a little bit of a shift after the All-Star break and whatnot. So my guy, Teoscar. That's what I'm talking about. I love it when you talk about it and then it happens. Good stuff. From the first catch to the last catch, Battery Plus has what it takes to power your passion. All right, let me get you some young bucks. All right, next up for Washington, left fielder Corey Dickerson. Batting second this inning, catcher Keibert Ruiz. And batting third, first baseman Dominic Smith. Boy doesn't like to cut corners. Got to grind it out. Got to make sure we do everything. All right, let me look for some books. All right, come on, Woo. Let's go, baby. First pitch for a strike. 2-1 Mariners, top of the second with a Teoscar 2-run dinger. Let's go. Young Bucks, baby. I'll get you a few more once we get to commercial break. I appreciate you. Let's go. Love me some Young Bucks. You know that. Pitches outside. 1 ball and 1 strike to Dickerson. And then obviously if you watched the game last night, the end of the game ended on a wide right, a very serious ball, nowhere even near being a strike. I think the ump wanted dinner because I've had a couple other people say that to me too. I was like, I said that on the stream. And then I talked to a couple of my friends. I was like, what did you think about the end of the game? And then everyone agreed. They're like, that ump wanted dinner. Like at that point, he was just like, I'm done. Because there was no way that was a strike. And he just ended the game. He's like, fuck it. It was at least like 2 baseballs or 3 baseballs off to the right of the strike zone. Well, it struck him out. Wow. Violation. Pitch clock violation. Fucking Woo, take that. Woo, woo, woo. Let's go. Cyber in the building. What's good? How are you, bro? Yeah, I was hoping that you would be able to try to come in sometime today or tomorrow. Sometimes I hate to be able to, have to, reach out to people at times and whatnot, but I'm definitely happy that you're here, bro. Even if it's only for a few minutes and you got shit that you got to do. It's always good. Hopefully that you're doing good. Just me and Paisley. Paisley's just running around, and now I think she's kind of calm. Just chilling. We went on our walk, and then I ended up bringing a chair from someone that was going to throw it away, and then I, took it with me down to the river spot, where that has that little like kind of fishing hole, like kind of sightseeing area. And I go down there with Paisley, and there's just like old man down there. I was like, oh, it looks like you're using my chair. Like I wasn't expecting anyone to be there, and he had his fishing pole out. So I mean, at that point, he was already there first. So I wished him luck, and then me and Paisley had to, go to a different spot, but we didn't really get our regular routine in and whatnot. So, but it was good to see, he's definitely going to use it. It's nice. And it's a sturdy one. It's not like a camping chair. It's like one of those like patio chairs, but it's like heavy metal with like a design in the back and whatever. And it's got a nice little seat cushion on it. Because I was figuring, hell, if someone is going to move and they're just going to throw this, and it's not like the chair is going to be worth a whole lot of money. I mean, at the very most, it was probably $15 or $20 used chair for a patio, nice used patio. But I was like, fuck it. I mean, once you sit on the ground, on the dirt and the grass and whatnot, depending on if it's rained or not, or being able to have a chair there. And again, it's probably not going to be good forever. Because I imagine that cushion, if it rains, it's going to get mold at some point, and then the cushion's not going to be good unless I like wrap it up and I put a bag over it or something. But other than that, I'm just grinding it out. Top of the second, Mariners 2, Washington 1. Yes, Money in the Bank. Should be good. Like I said, I actually do enjoy that pay-per-view. So we'll, we never really miss a WWE pay-per-view every month. So we'll definitely do that. So, and then I'm just, trying to play around with some new things. So we got obviously our main view. Then if we want to get into some statistics, I got you there. And then obviously we have more of like a scoreboard type of look and angle that we want to go this route. We can go here. Then we can go the standard if we really want to see the big breakdown. And then if people got OCD and they need to fucking see me on the left side, then, your boy's working. I got it. So here we are. Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, bro. You're a godsend. You have no idea, man. Oh, Cyberpunk, man. You're almost going to make me get emotional. Appreciate you very, very much. Cyberpunk with a huge dono. Things have not been, you know, too good, but I try to stay, just, I'm still working. I'm trying to improve the thumbnails, improve the presentation. Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. And I imagine between now and December, there probably is going to be some changes, like where I'm living, just with everything that's going on with, obviously, the girlfriend and that whole scenario. And then obviously, I do have some family that is kind of getting older, and just have to be able to look out for, I guess, my situation, with everything and how everything is going. So I would assume here within the next, 1 to 6 months, I mean, I'm still going to be recording, and like I said, I ended up checking to see if like Ziply internet would be available at a couple options that I would have, and then I gotta have to kind of figure out what's going on with Paisley as well, because obviously that's a big part of my life. Um, so we'll see. Obviously, even if I end up leaving this place, and if I cannot, purchase, and have Paisley, for my own, I'm not gonna abandon. My bond with Paisley is way too strong to just, like, oh, I'm just gonna get another puppy of my own, which could happen, but I'm not gonna neglect her or anything like that. Cyberpunk, thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. I can't even tell you the last time we had something like this. What do you want to see for photos for eternity? Thank you, man. Yeah, and like I said, you have single handedly, last year, a majority, we had, about 4 or 5 main people that really held it down, and obviously you and Holly, pretty much, without the two of you last year, and a few others, we already know what it is, and then definitely, we've had a few people with situations, with people passing away, people that have different job situations. We don't have all the same mods and goats in the building, but I'm really blessed for you and Sarah. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. My goodness, $400 dono. And man, I mean, just the way that 2023 has been, this would have been so exciting last year. But I'm telling you, like, based on how everything has been going on in my life, that is like, a 4 to me in 2023 compared to 2022 is like 8. It's just insane. It's like, I'm so blessed. Thank you so much, man. Because like I said, I wouldn't be able to continue the dream. And of course, I could get another full-time job or try to get another part-time job. And I'm not afraid of work. I mean, hell, I've done 2 or 3 jobs for many, many years, 10 years to get full-time on this. But this really means everything to me, like Paisley. And this is my dream. This is, my legacy. This is what I meant to do. And I want to be able to try to do this full-time as much as I can. And hopefully we can, get some more support and some newbies, and maybe some more support from current OGs to the channel. But I appreciate you more than words can say. Thank you so much. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang. Not a hundo, not 2 hundo, not 3 hundo, 4 hundo, which is like ultimate, like 8 hundo or like 1,000. Thank you so much, man. Wrestling picks. Let's do it. Thank you, man. I appreciate you. Thank you. Man, crazy, crazy times. Thank you so much, man. What kind of wrestling picks do you want to see? Top of the second, 2-1 Mariners, runners at first and second. You let me know which wrestlers you want to see, and I got you. And how long do you have to be able to hang out? Are you able to hang out for like a little bit, the rest of the stream? You got things to do? Man, got me feeling like fucking the elite right now. Appreciate you, man. Yeah. And obviously things are at a point here where, it's not like, when I am going to be leaving. It's just a matter of, pretty much when, but I already have, things kind of situated. So, it might be soon, and then I just got to be able to get the Ziply all connected. But it is good that at the, one location, check the address, how to talk, and it is available. So it's not like I'm gonna, have to go somewhere that won't have good internet or won't be, so I'll still be able to continue everything, and then maybe even be able to do a little bit more as well. So that's how it goes with like relationships and jobs and friends. Things, some things start off good, and then people change, and then sometimes interests change, or it's just not a good fit. There's a reason why a lot of people break up, and a lot of people get divorces and whatnot. And usually with me, when I'm typically with someone, I'm usually with them for a pretty long time, or I'm just by myself. So this time around was like 8 years, and then time before that was like I think six or seven. So that's a long time, you know what I mean? But you live, you learn, and you ultimately learn about yourself, and then you also learn what you want and what you don't want in the future. You got to look at it at that way too. So you got time? Okay, let's do that. I appreciate you, man. You got any specifics on the NWO? NWO, Wolfpack, NWO, just in general. I mean, I got all kinds of, me, dude. I'm Mr. NWO. I'm not sure if there's anyone that loves NWO. I mean, I am up there. Like if there was like an NWO fan club, shit. I'm not saying I'd be the president, but I definitely would be up there. I mean, I love it, man. Change the game. We've never seen anything like this, and we never will. Rest in peace, Scott Hall. I'll probably cry for 3 out of 4 of those guys, but 2 primarily. But I mean, if Hogan wasn't such a jobber outside of the ring with his like some of the things that he said, and doesn't come across as the like really best person outside of wrestling, but I mean, he's a fucking icon. I mean, I got his figure here in front of me. It's NWO for life, and obviously the move set for Hogan was absolutely terrible compared to any major champion. Any major champion in any WCW or WWF had a way better moveset. It was his look, but of course it wasn't necessarily his moves in the ring that were absolute, just leg drop, big boot, body slam, very, very plain Jane, right? But his microphone skills were just through the roof. And then going from the John Cena role with the Hulkamaniacs, and then doing the Ultimate, going bad. I mean, it was just the craziest shit ever, and I loved it. It was like the whole Darth Vader shit for me, like all over again. And he's so loved that even when kids got mad at first, it was the coolest thing ever. Like normally when you're heels, you're not supposed to be cheered like faces. And then even they were out cheering, even the Stings and the Lugers, and then those people eventually joined and whatnot. So, oh man, but I mean, I still wear the gear to this day. And, some people will, give me the little Wolfpack sign, or I'll hear something, as I walk by and whatnot. And I'm a big Macho Man guy. There's certain people, but I haven't cried. Scott Hall, it might be like one of the first ones where I cried, like, because that's a big part of my life with like wrestling figures and watching, Razor Ramon and everything. But right here, like, this is really iconic, like for me. I mean, the big three. I mean, hell, it took the fucking Shield to dethrone them for the most successful big three. You know what I mean? Like, we know Hollywood Hogan, we know Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, Outsiders, NWO, and we got my man Macho Man. Oh yeah, right. But now you had Roman Reigns, so he's kind of the boring role, couldn't talk, but Hollywood could, but then got better, right? And now he's trying to do like the long-term Hogan belt thing, right? And then you obviously with Dean Ambrose, John Moxley, and Seth Rollins, you already know the success that they've had. So everyone's had the world championship and whatnot, but it's like this time, back in the day in the 90s, I'm not sure if I ever thought there would be anyone, but I kind of had a feeling like depending on the direction, the Shield looked like that was the only one that could be close. And you guys already know how I feel about Macho Man. No, Macho Man, oh yeah. Macho's like my ultimate. I mean, I got a lot of favorites. It's hard for me to even have a top 5 or a top 10, to be honest. Eugenio Suarez in the box. Try to get some more NWO. Bottom of the second, Mariners 2, Washington 1. Wild pitch. Come on, Mariners. Yeah, but like NWO is one of those things. Like some people are DX people. I'm just, and I don't have any problem with that. They were amazing for what they did. But, I'm always going to be NWO because they told me you're going to be NWO. You're going to be NWO for life. And I mean, I'm still rocking it, man. I still like the satin coats, the NWO black and white. I got a Wolfpack, kind of zip up, hoodie that's got the NWO and the For Life all over it, like a skater print. That one pops. It's like a black and red. I saw that and I was like, ooh. I was like, and I, even back when I was younger, I used to do backyard wrestling and jump off roofs and shit. I would let people power bomb me off the trampoline into the fucking dirt or the concrete. We had a little federation and we were kind of crazy, but that's what happens when you get introduced to ECW and you tell all your friends and then everyone turns into a madman. And, we had a video editor, we had theme music. We had about, not a lot of people, but we probably about 20 or 30 that would watch us. And this was back like, when I was doing like, football and basketball, probably shouldn't be doing this shit. You know what I mean? But we loved wrestling so much, back in the day. And it was just nice to get kind of the homies together. And when you have crazy homies and you have like 3 of them and, there's like property. So some of them have kind of like animals or like farmland. But if you have like, property where you actually can have a huge ass trampoline, the main reason I think we did it is because we had 3 friends out of like the 12 or 15 people that were in the backyard wrestling, right? That actually had awesome like setups. So it's like we could do a pay-per-view at Nick's house, or then we can go to Stefan's house and we can do, just like something real quick, like a little practice or something and whatnot. But I mean, we took that shit seriously. Like, I was doing Hurricane Ranas and, we had little factions and whatnot. I mean, we definitely just didn't do it for just for show. I mean, we love wrestling and whatnot, but I mean, definitely we tried to hurt each other and whatnot. And oh man, it was good times. Yeah, life happens. It does. Yeah. But sometimes, when things kind of come to an end, then there's going to be, new beginnings and whatnot. So Elliot in the building. What's good? He is. I know, especially when he does something like this. My goodness. If we didn't have Cyberpunk and some of the incredible people a part of this channel, my dream doesn't die, but it definitely takes a step back. And I mean, it's like when you get to a certain point in your life, depending on how old you are, if you do know what your passion or your dream or your goal is, it's sometimes you got to just, you keep believing, and if you have good people in your life and, you got the support, then, you can get through sometimes the tough times and whatnot. So. Oh, you did. 4-2. See, you hung on. Did they? Well, we gave up our first run, Elliot, when the guy was on first, Candelario, and Wu threw it to Ty France at first to pick off the runner, except he threw it wide right by like 5 feet, right? And then the guy goes from first all the way home, and there was like a throw at the plate, but it wasn't even like close by Teoscar. I was like 1-0. I was like, you got to be fucking shitting me. That's like the worst way, to start off the game, but and then Teoscar came in and homered, and then a little bit after that, Cyberpunk came in and definitely saved the day. You guys are all super goats. Candace in the building. What's good? Pacifico's crisp golden lager. Brewed for those who know. It's what's behind the label that matters. Cashback is good. Double cashback is even better.
offer matches all the cash back you earned at the end of your first year, which is cash back at its best.
Now this would be something. Every NWO member ranked, but then you have to go back and remember, like, who the hell was in NWO? Like, at some point, it was almost everyone was in NWO. It got a little ridiculous, black and white, and then the Wolfpack and whatnot. And then you had the off-brand, with like LWO, with Latino World Order. But, that's Eddie Guerrero, and anything Eddie Guerrero, I love Eddie. Eddie is always going to be one of my all-time favorites, and it's never going to go away. His charisma and his in-ring ability is almost unmatched by a lot of people even to this day. And then obviously BWO, which was in ECW with the Blue World Order, with the Blue Meanie. Was it Big Stevie Cool instead of like Kevin Nash? It was Steven Richards. Man, old school times, man. But I like that kind of stuff. The old nostalgia of like the BWO. Like, even though it was like the knockoff of the NWO, and the members were just like ridiculous. They're not on the same talent level. And then I'm just remembering what was the one where they wore all the white, the censored one, and then they had like the little ties and whatnot. They had like a little group around that time too. Man, old school times. Top of the third, 2-1 Mariners. Luis Garcia in the box, 277 average, 5 homers, 34 ribbies in 2023. My fucking guy, Brian. Whoa. Doing good. That's foul.
Chatting with him about how he was still picking sriracha out of his ear the day after his first major league win. He was telling me he actually didn't even start pitching at all until his junior year of high school, and he just kind of needed somebody to throw, and that's really when he picked up pitching, and obviously he went off and was running from there.
Damn, just looking at some of these is like hella memories. Get it, JP. Oh, safe. This one was in the collection with the other NWO, but she's pretty, so why not? Hello, Liv. New world order for life, brother. Oh, yeah. But if you're going to start the new world order, the first person you start it with, right here, not Liv, Ripley. Actually looks good on her. I mean, the Judgment Day vibe is, I just like to be able to see people get a chance, and it's nice that her and Asuka, got a chance to take the belt off Bianca Belair and Charlotte. You don't want those two to be the only one elevated. You want to make sure that the other two are right there, which they are. So you don't want to get like bored of seeing something over and over and over too much. So. Says, you got too much shit. Delete some of this shit. And I'm like, all right. Got him, Woo. Fourth punch out by Woo. And he's the fifth option guy. So nice job, fucking Brian. Let's go. Next at bat, Joey Meneses. Top of the third, Mariners 2. Nationals 1. Candelero scored on the error from first all the way to home. That was 1-0. And then Teoscar homered in the bottom of the first to right center. And then Ty France scored. And that's where the score is. And we got some scoring early yesterday. We won 8-4. Felt good. And I want to continue it. Get him. Safe at second. Shit. Good throw. That was close. Raleigh to Wong, but it was the Wong move. Let me see if he got in there. Did he get the tag? Let me see his hands. No, he's safe. He's safe. Top of the third, 2-1 Mariners. Runner at second, 1 away. 0-2 pitch from Woo. See you later. Yes, sir. Oh, my. 5 Ks for Woo. See, this is the difference when you end up having guys that have electric stuff, right? It's like you get guys that, or even if they're young, but if you feel that they got it. Bryce Miller and Woo fucking got it. Kirby was the rookie before. Castillo from the Reds. Logan Gilbert was the 1. Now you're so far behind, you might be our worst starter. And at one point he was a 1. So, but it's nice and exciting to see what we're getting from Bryce. I already knew Kirby was going to be fantastic in Castillo. So Castillo and Kirby, no surprise. They're supposed to be good. But the Bryce Miller, oh my God, then you're like, okay, Woo, and then Marco, when he comes back, it's starting to look good. Now we just need to get, the hits and the runs to match. But, you're talking about a guy who's going to be like, the 5th option, pitcher number 5, and a guy that's shooting for 8 to 10 Ks. And even though Logan Gilbert was like a 1 or a 2, he barely gets to 2, like 2 or 3, and he usually loses and he fucks up. So, I mean, it's nice to be able to see certain guys step up. And fucking Brian Woo was a 6th rounder. So obviously ERA was like $1 billion when he first started, but he does have that swagger and that strikeout ability. So he might be like a Marco where you might be starter number 5. But if you're starter number 5 on any team, but you have the capability to get 10 Ks at any start, that is pretty special. I mean, normally 10K guys are your number 1. And then hopefully you're number 2 if your team is pretty good. If you're really, really good, then number 3, 4, and 5, maybe you have guys there too. So exciting. New world order. It's my guys, man. Fucking Wolfpack. Wolfpack had a fire song too, the theme song. I can still listen to that. I mean, that still bumps to this day. Fire. So many memories. The chaos was real, and that's why it made it such good TV. You just never knew what was going to happen. And like I said, when you have a collection of legends, it won't matter for future, generations. It's like we had Jordan, you didn't. You had LeBron or someone else. You're not going to be able to compare, like if anything, you're not going to understand, what we saw because we got to see the full, collection of things, old and then the new. And then a lot of people have only seen the new. It's like, certain generations with wrestling, like in the 80s and 90s, that'll never, ever be duplicated because you're not getting Hogan to come back or Scott Hall or Kevin Nash or, just the many, facets of it, the RVD and Sabu in their prime, having ECW being amazing and WCW with all the legends and And even though some of the legends, might have gotten a little bit older, $1 Million Man, Jake the Snake Roberts, guys that we watched maybe in the 80s, there was plenty of good transition in the 90s, obviously with Undertaker and then Mankind, NWO, DX. I mean, it was incredible. Never going to be like that again, unfortunately. Let's get to 5. Let's do that. I mean, I can't even tell. When's the last time we said that? That's been a minute, huh?
The Mariners are more than a baseball team. We're a big, happy, noisy family. A tight-knit family of players and fans that wear our names on our backs and hearts on our sleeves. We come together to write the story of the season and share a family album of hundreds of memorable moments.
That one wasn't necessarily related to it, but I saw that and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. Undertaker's crazy.
Submit your photo and story to rootsports.com, and you could win a trip to Fan Appreciation Night at T-Mobile Park. For official rules, visit rootsports.com.
Don't miss the first ever HBCU Swingman Classic presented by T-Mobile during All-Star Week. Ricky Jr. is inviting athletes from HBCUs for a showcase on Friday night.
Terrible that the All-Star game is in Seattle and I can't go, but at least I do have friends that are going to be able to experience that. So that, it's not a complete loss. Wong? Oh, out at first. Damn it. Wong. Little dribbler to first, and he's out. Next up, shortstop J.P. Crawford. Terrence in the building. What's good? Bottom of the third, 2-1 Mariners. 42 pitches in for Irvin. I'll give Jake a little love. Little dribbler. 2 away. It only has 3 Ks. And then my guy Brian Wu, 6. It's exactly what we want to see. Yeah. Bloodline story, though, as we go back, Roman Reigns had the belt too long, but that's like the best storyline based off feuds, beginning, in the middle, after. Let's get Usi, Sami Zayn. Now you're not Usi, you're not honorary Uso. You're a part of it. You're not part of it. The bloodline, Roman's title reign was the only thing that was too long. But as we look back on this, a year from now, 5 years, 10 years, 20, we'll be like, that Roman Reigns, that bloodline, you're going to be like, that was one of the best storylines that we've seen in like 20 years, even back into like the WCW, WWF days. So, but yeah, and like I said, if you do it right, then there's just so many directions where you can kind of move the storyline and move the needle because everyone's invested in the storyline and the characters. I mean, look at the Usos. They went from being like really, really good, considered one of the best tag teams of all time, and they went up the pecking, a ladder a little bit, with this run. Every person elevated, but Sami Zayn probably the most. Got a chance to really shine with those mic skills and whatnot. So, I have not. I have been watching more of the stuff on like A&E on like Sunday, where they do like they look for like the treasures that some of the wrestlers have, so they can like display it for like one of their events or whatever. And then also Stone Cold, where he does his show and people like write to him and he goes and tries to do like crazy jobs or experiences and whatnot. I do like the Stone Cold show, but I haven't. I have been reading some stuff about the Ultimate Warrior lately, though, that like some people, like I know him and Ric Flair had a match, I think like one time, and Vince is like, we're never doing this shit again because there was just no chemistry and whatnot. And then another one where Sergeant Slaughter was bitching that Ultimate Warrior was being like too stiff and tried to hurt him. and whatnot. So, I mean, obviously you're going to have so many different type of stories. And then I was watching last night where real life happened, where Matt and Lita, were together, and then Matt got injured, and then Edge was his best friend, and then Edge started, messing around with Lita, and then they did the promo thing at Raw, and that was when he was already going to leave, and obviously attacked, he's like, Adam, I'm going to make your life a miserable. Lita, I'm going to make your life miserable. And he's like, I quit WWE. It's like a pipe bomb thing with the CM Punk. But, I mean, they were legit like, at one point it looked like, okay, is this like, part of the thing? But you can definitely tell when you watch that shit was like, they were throwing punches and some were actually landing and whatnot. And, and then now, like, fast forward, right? Edge and Matt aren't even with her. And stuff. But I guess, in that wrestling business when you're at that time, but it sounds like I need to watch that. How much that would be dope. I need to watch the Warrior one too. Yeah, we'll have to kind of wait and see. And then obviously Solo would have been just like, a guy. But then obviously Solo, a part of the bloodline, guilty with association. You get put into certain situations to get on TV more. Like if Solo was just a regular wrestler with no affiliation, he would just be mid-level to jobber, But like I said, that was a good way to elevate him. That's why factions can do that. Popped up in the top of the fourth. Nice catch by Teoscar, 2-1 Mariners. And then they're on YouTube. Okay, cool. I guess at some point, I don't know if you know what the keywords are, if you want to send me a link on Twitter or whatever, but I mean, I imagine I can find it as well, unless there's like certain types of documentaries or who it's through. Do you know who the documentary is through? Is it through like Vice or like when they do like the Dark Side of the Ring or whatever? Any of those are crazy too. I'm not sure if you guys watch that kind of stuff, but the Vice channel or when they do like the Dark Side, that's like, it makes you kind of sad because obviously it's called Dark Side, so obviously there's going to be drinking and maybe drug use, PEDs, steroids, abuse, crazy stuff that's happening and cover-ups and scandals, a lot of shit that happened in like the 70s and the 80s and 90s in wrestling that would not fly today. Popped up. Then we're going over some wrestling photos. Cyberpunk coming through in a major way. Cyberpunk got me feeling like this today. Appreciate you. No, it's being realistic. You know what I mean? Like I said, if you want to get someone that has an honest opinion about any team in the NFL with nothing to gain, just being someone that's just going to be a straight shooter, not trying to hurt anybody's feelings, but if some people are biased, that they need to understand that even if they don't think they are, a lot of people are. We love our teams and we love our players so much, but once you can start appreciating the league as a whole and even your rivals and who they have as greatness. Like, if I'm a Bucks fan, I should fucking hate Lattimore and Cameron Jordan and all the fucking guys that they got because all they do is talk shit and fight with Mike Evans, right? But I still like some of those guys. Like if they were on my team, would I want them? Of course. So, I mean, once you can start seeing it like that and seeing the league as a whole, the Eagles will be good because the NFC is trash. They don't have any quarterbacks there. Jalen has got the right to be in the top 10 as a quarterback. And if you really think about it, he's in the same category now, and he has to keep proving it. But he's there with Mahomes, with Burrow, with Allen, with Herbert. He's just the one that's in the NFC, right? So obviously, the Saints have Carr. They're going to, win that division easy. Then you got, obviously, Jalen. And we'll see what the Giants and Cowboys, what happens there, or Washington. Right. Then, Minnesota and Detroit got something brewing. Even if Dalvin Cook leaves, maybe Detroit could overachieve and win the North, which would be amazing. And then we'll see what Green Bay does with Jordan Love. Seahawks will be good, probably wild card team, 10, 11, 12 wins, somewhere in there if they stay healthy and get good production from their rookies like last year. Niners should win that division again. But again, sometimes teams that, end up winning, we go from worst to first or third to to first, or you move up in the ladder. But the NFC is very weak, but they have well-rounded teams like the Eagles and the Niners that give you defense and offense. But again, if you're going to be able to beat the AFC team like the Chiefs, then you're going to have to be able to get to the quarterback, sack lunches and picks. And if you don't do that, unfortunately, what happened to you guys last year, you know what I mean? It's like you guys are a very well-balanced team, but the offensive line, for the Chiefs might have been the bugaboo, that was the weak link, but they played better. And then I saw a story, obviously today, from one of the Eagles players, and he was saying, oh, it was slippery. Chiefs were lucky. It's like, okay, but if you're on the O-line too, yeah, you can plant and then you can just push forward. And if you're moving forward, yeah, you're going to slip. But the Chiefs players were still able to, obviously we saw Mahomes and Jalen dominate, right? There was no really stopping either one of them. But the key to the victory overall was the Chiefs' offensive line. I mean, you don't give up a sack or a pick. You give Mahomes a clean pocket, no matter how good you are on the NFC side, unless you're like the Rams with Aaron Donald or my Buccaneers, when I had multiple guys that are Hall of Fame, on the defense. You got to be able to, make Mahomes or whoever, Allen, Herbert, Burrow, uncomfortable. And if you give someone that much time, there's no way you're ever going to win, because they're going to be able just to pick you apart. And even though you were able to score at will, the defense was the big disappointment. The defense should have played better. I'm not saying they should have played as good as like Tampa or the Rams, but they definitely let one slip away where they could have won it. But also, too, it shows you how great Mahomes is, and Andy Reid and Kelsey. Offensive line was the MVP, and they said, oh, you can't win without Tyreek. The hell we can. You can't win without Bieniemy. The hell they can't. So anytime you tell them they can't do something, when you do have the best quarterback in the NFL, sometimes magic happens, and you're going to get magic out of Patrick Mahomes. So, I mean, even if the defense is top notch, he's so good that he almost evens it out sometimes. Like, you could have a team that is getting like 3-4 picks a game and 3 sack lunches, but if it's Mahomes in a big moment, yeah, there is moments where Tampa beats him, like I did. But for every bad performance where we just dominate because the O-line for the Chiefs didn't do their job because they were injured and they had 2 starters out, and we took advantage. But again, the names weren't the same this time around, but you had better players arguably on the other side on that D-line, and they just, Fletcher Cox, where are you? Big play Slay. What happened? It's like you played awesome defense and until that game. But it was really, you have to give credit to the O-line. So it is what it is. But all in all, if you're an Eagle fan or a Chief fan, got a bright future, because the Chiefs are going to continue to keep on winning, as long as they have their core and keep drafting well. And the Eagles have the best shot besides the Niners to really actually win on the NFC side, because you do have a good offense and defense normally. It's just that you got to be able to do it against, Mr. Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, because that's pretty much what he is. He's going to, at the end of the day, his name is going to be with Joe Montana, Peyton Manning, Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes. It's going to be there. So you got to be able to get as many as you can against him, because he's not going to lose very many. And obviously Tampa gives you the blueprint. But again, who has Tampa's defense or those type of players? Brady, Gronk, fucking Bruce Arians, AB, all these like weird pieces that I never thought I'd have. And then the defense that I had. So, but I do think that if the Eagles keep playing and keeping their confidence and they keep drafting well, I do think the Eagles will have a shot to win a championship in the next 5 to 6 years. But again, the NFC is the most well-rounded, for offense, defense, special teams, Eagles, Niners. And even though the Chiefs supposedly defense and O-line might be shaky at times, if they step up enough, Mahomes can make the rest happen. And he proved it again. So. Yeah, but I definitely think that, you know how Eagles fans are going to be. The top 3 toxic fan bases in the NFL based off their passion and being delusional and also being annoying at times. Not everyone is, a good person. There are shady individuals, right? But you got, obviously, Eagle fans, Saint fans, and Cowboy fans, right? Some fans are fantastic. They're so passionate. They love their team. They do it in the normal way. They talk shit normally, and it's cool. You talk shit, we'll talk shit, But then you get the people that are old school, that are living in the past, or people that don't really know shit in their bandwagon, or people that just like to argue, or people just like to be like Skip, thinking the Cowboys are going to win every year. But if you're really a fan, right, that's not going to happen. You need a better head coach like a Sean Payton, right? And then you might have to upgrade from Dak, to be honest. Better offensive line. Dan Quinn and the defense and Micah are fine, but you need to pair that up with an elite coach, and Jerry has to stay away from the team. Less puppetry. Let the head coach do his thing. And if that happens, that's when Dallas will win a game or two or make an NFC championship or maybe, go all the way. But no one can honestly even see them winning, is because every year they got a great roster of athletes, but they just can't put it together at the end because the coach and the play calling is garbage on the offensive side. I mean, I'm not a fucking expert, even though I feel I am, but I'm not the only one that thinks this particular way. Like, it's pretty clear, and I have seen improvements in Dak, right? But the thing is Jalen Hurts, I used to call him Dak 2.0. Now Jalen is much, much better than Dak. Now Jalen is the top dog and Dak is a Jalen 2.0. And I think there's definitely limitations to Dak's game. Now, is Dak still one of the top 10, 12 quarterbacks? Yes, but he has limitations and he doesn't do very good in the playoffs. So what that tells me, if you don't sign Zeke and you have, your Tony Pollard and the rest of the guys, CeeDee Lamb, getting rid of Amari Cooper was a mistake. But you have to have the offensive line like Zeke had his rookie year, where you have 3 Hall of Famers or 3 Pro Bowl guys. If you don't have 3 out of 5 that are beasts, the Cowboys aren't going to ever be shit. So that's another thing. I'm not I just pay attention to details. So, if they can recreate some of that, it's not like Aikman and Irvin and Emmett and Leon. Like, people don't understand, like, these current teams now are nowhere near what the Cowboys were, when they won in the 3 out of 4 years, 92, 93, and 95. Like, when you talk about that Cowboy team and some people get delusional from that era, right? They have a reason to be delusional if they're kind of old school. That team was insane. Like, you got to think how good Emmitt Smith is and Aikman and Irvin. Like, if you go back and watch that team and Jimmy and his swagger, you know what I mean? Obviously, I was a Niner kid growing up, so I really appreciated that win in between in 94. But then I knew as soon as Dion left, I was like, oh, Dion won a championship, Niners? Yes. It's most swaggy as Dion was 94 Dion. The Niner gear was swaggy as shit, right? But then when he went to the Cowboys in 95, everyone knew wherever Dion goes, that team more than likely is winning the championship, and they did. So... but we already know how it goes with Eagles and Cowboys and Saints. Really cool fans, some of them, but some of them are, people can't even go into either fan forums of those 3 teams without getting heckled, bullied, or it gets out of control in there. It's like you're supposed to all be rooting for the same thing, but then it just ends up being like one big fight, a big internet fight, So some people that are fighting that know stuff, and then the others that pretend that they know. So. Yeah, I'm really excited about the Lions. But I'm giving it to you straight. There are going to be people that are thinking that you're going to be real good. The bottom line is, even if you're not really good, and let's say for whatever reason the Cowboys or Giants get first place and the Eagles get second at wild card, and they're 10-7. That doesn't mean that the Eagles can't make the NFC Championship and go to the Super Bowl. You know what I mean? You guys are one of the better teams that's left. There's been a lot of shakeup in the NFC. So I mean, if you're Niners, right? Eagles, you probably feel the best. Then you got Seattle feeling pretty good below them. Minnesota. There we go. Suarez with a sacrifice. 3-1 Mariners. There we go. But like, some teams are championship caliber. But even with that being said, I mean, do we really think that the Niners and Eagles can beat the AFC team? The answer is yes, if it's not the Chiefs. But if it's the Chiefs, you're kind of fucked. If the Chiefs get there, I mean, 3 out of 4 times they're going to win. You know what I mean? And even if you do have that well-balanced team. Now, if Josh Allen is there, or Burrow is there, or Herbert is there, or someone else, that's when the NFC team, Niners, Eagles, are going to win. But again, unless you get extremely lucky and play Mahomes and you can get a dub there. So, but I definitely think the Eagles will be good. You know what I mean? But another reason why some of the Eagle fan base, if you look at the rest of the NFC, there's nothing there. So, I mean, but again, it's not good to be too cocky. I feel like if you're too cocky about shit and you're like overly being aggressive to try to, like instigate shit talking with other fan bases, or you're trying to get clicks or views, like all in all, if you're doing that, like as a, Eagle person, on social media, I don't know. I just feel if you act that way, sports karma ends up coming back. And, I just like to see some Eagle fans like kind of pump the brakes a little bit, but they've never pumped the brakes. You're a fucking Eagle fan, you know. It's every single year, Super Bowl, everyone else can die. I don't give a shit about anybody. Cowboys suck, you know what I mean? Giants are garbage. Washington, who the hell are they? You know what I mean? And just, going through it. And a lot of times, if they have a good coach, roster usually is pretty good. The Andy Reid era with all those NFC championship games, and obviously finding a way to win without Carson Wentz and getting it with Slick Nick. And, sometimes you got to wait. That's why you got to crawl before you walk. Just because you get to the Super Bowl doesn't mean you're going to win it every year. You definitely got to be able to look at the the other side and how they stack up and whatnot. So that's big facts. All right, baby. 3-1 Mariners. I need to get some more pictures. Need some more wrestling pictures for Cyber. Cyber, where else do you want to go?
I'm founder and executive director of Block, a nonprofit boxing organization. I'm originally from Lexington, Kentucky. I had a lot of pain that I kept inside me growing up.
And then I read a story about today about Hawk and Macho Man and how they didn't like each other, and they fought each other a couple times one time backstage, and then they fought each other, and then they saw each other at a Kid Rock concert later before Macho Man died, and then they fought again and whatnot. So I think Hawk thought maybe Macho was looking at his woman or whatever, and then they had a little beef. Man, these are the days. WCW Nitro on TNT. It's like that Brian Adams. We got Virgil. God, look at Stevie Ray, Big Papa Pump, Buff Bagwell, Hogan, Luger, Kurt Hennig. Normally you'll see the Disciple. Man, the good old days. Top of the fifth, 3-1 Mariners. Woo's got 6 Ks, and I absolutely love it. Again, when you're fourth or fifth in the rotation, shoot for 8 to 10. Shoot for the stars. You got the stuff. Keep going. Vintage Hogan, let's do it. I always try to send you just rare photos that I come across, here and there. Some like the last one I sent you, I normally wasn't going to send you, but I think it was Bruno Sammartino and early Vince when he was interviewing. So I don't usually see that many Bruno stuff. So I was like, that's kind of neat. I just also kind of neat seeing Vince young. Actually watched Hulk Hogan's first match against a jobber, his very, very first match. I watched that 2 weeks ago. But this is my childhood, and I know a lot of your guys' childhood as well. Obviously we'll save that when we get in the mood, right? When we have to do the boot. Older Hogan. The hairline is not as far back. God, look at the belt. Look at the buckles with the WWF. And then it was the World Wildlife Federation Foundation. They're like, you got to change your name. We're WWF and we do animals. And they're like, fuck. So they got to WWE with the entertainment, but the F is better. The WWF, look at the sign in the background. Come on, man. The foam fingers. Some of those foam fingers are worth a shitload of money. I've seen originals, go for hundreds, 100 to 400 if you got the vintage Macho Man that they sold in 88. Some of these collectors are they're kind of like me and kind of like some of y'all, where we definitely do have some items that are whoa, but some people go even further than that. And then obviously with Hogan and movies. And then obviously it's the color scheme too, with the yellow and the red and the red and the yellow. Because he used to wear white and these other colors, just doesn't look right, But once you got into the Hulkamaniac, mode, obviously we know what this is from. Sometimes it's about the colors too, the vibe, the vitamins. Yeah, I mean that would be probably the route that you would think.
It's kind of been a different brand of Mariners baseball yesterday and today. A lot more situational hitting, guys getting deep in the counts.
Top of the fifth, 3-1 Mariners, runner at first, one away. Luis Garcia in the box, batting .280, 5 homers, 34 ribbies in 2023. I even put him on the thumb. Hopefully he doesn't do too much damage against the M's.
Which is kind of crazy in this day and age.
No doubt it was easier last night. You had Trevor Williams, whose fastball was sitting anywhere from 88 to 91. Abbott came out of the bullpen and worked a very long relief by today's standards.
Oh, baby.
Last night was certainly an easier game to string it together than the normal.
And back in the day, like I said, I had the Hogan figure and I had the Ultimate Warrior, and I got the Hogan back, with my dad and whatnot, and I got the Bushwhackers and I got the Big Boss Man. So now I need the last one that I had when I was a kid. I wasn't like super rich. I know some of my friends had like so many, but I use like other things, like G.I. Joes and Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles, so you never know what would be in that wrestling ring at that time.
This fastball is averaging at Mason Thomas.
Top of the fifth, 3-1 Mariners, runner at first, one away. Woo, 81 pitches and 7 Ks. Fucking, this is incredible. You don't see that often, where you got your 4th or 5th guy, 6th rounder, no expectations, only filled in for one reason. Marco Gonzalez got hurt, and he was 4-1, 5-1, and actually was surprising this year. So we've gotten multiple surprises. Marco's better than we expected. Woo is better than expected. And Miller is might be our best pitcher, and honestly, I think he is. Like I said, to say that over Castillo is bold, but as of late, I think I trust Bryce a little bit more with his stuff than even with Castillo. Like Kirby sometimes gets a little shaky, Castillo, everyone gets, roughed up a little bit, but I think like Miller, his swagger is higher than the others, even though Castillo's got the most typically. He gets fired up and pumps his fist after big Ks, but I don't know, man. Miller is a phenom, and I just feel that if Luis gets injured or he leaves the team, Miller could be our best. And I think that he's got the highest ceiling to me. But again, we just need all these guys to start stepping up. So some of them get injured like Robbie Ray or Marco, then we're not completely fucked. So Hollywood Hogan, brother. Yeah. I mean, there's a reason. I mean, right here. It's here. The Hogan.
No, that's crazy.
Luke and Butch, Bushwhackers.
To have some really fantastic at-bats.
It's just wild to like recreate the same things back when I was a kid. And I mean, of course you can get stuff that's like in the package, but for these ones, these like 5, of course, I want them out of the package because I want to be able to, because they have the mechanism, where you move their arms, move their legs, and then they do an action. I love toys that are like that, where you push a button and it moves, like my Griffey, you push the button on the leg and it swings. Like I like toys that are mechanical like that. And then if I get them like with wrestling, or sports, I'm like, yeah, it's a no-brainer. Oh, I mean, you could write it either way. I mean, let's not. I'm an NWO guy because you're NWO 4 live, right? But obviously, look at DX. You got Triple H was one of the best heels of all time. Shawn Michaels is one of the GOATs of all time as well, even though he was old and his eye didn't go crooked yet. Obviously, prayers up for him as you get older. No one wants to get the crooked eye. But Shawn Michaels is still a legend, and he's doing a hell of a job on NXT, even though it still needs to improve and get better. But I still condemn him for what he's doing. Road Dogg and Badass Billy Gunn were probably the best thing about, the DX, is those two. I think that those two with Road Dogg and Badass Billy Gunn as the tag, that was probably the best thing. China was a freak of nature. Oh, Kellenick tried to go for the diving catch and he dropped it. That's going to score at least 1. Damn it. He tried to go for the Superman and he couldn't come up with it. 3-2 Mariners, and that was a double, and he's kind of limping. He's got grass all over the place. And I mean, each one had something, but I mean, again, NWO had more numbers. But I thought it was very cool when they had the Monday Night Wars and then they, showed up in the tank. It's like I could still be NWO and look at that, but I can't hate on that. I mean, it was cool. And then also, too, you got to a point where they were doing spoilers like on the show where they, already told you who was going to win on Nitro. So that way, you wouldn't have to watch WWE or whatnot. It got all crazy back then. And then you had great people, too. Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Mankind, DX, and then NWO, and obviously they had cruiserweight division. They just had so many different aspects, at that point. And there's little subtle things that I normally would like more, too, like the way that the ring sounded off body slams. I know that's kind of a weird thing to say, but like the ring sounded with the when you hear the bodies hit the ring and then there's moves being done, each ring sounds different, and the way that it sounds, with the vibration. And I don't know, I think that ECW was the craziest. WCW had the legends and the presentation, and I think the best ring. And then obviously WWE had The Rock and the Stone Cold, and some of their matches to me were a little robotic though. Punch, kick, DDT, body slam, pin. But obviously you did have guys like Rock and Stone Cold, and those two will never be duplicated ever again either. So, you had Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart, and if you didn't think that could get any better with that rivalry, then you get guys like Stone Cold and Rock that could do everything that those two could do in the ring, but they were better on the microphone. And then, the rest is history. So, yeah.
Are we on TV right now?
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Do you? Nice. I still collect to this day, like old wrestling toys, from like the 80s, 90s, some stuff in the package, some stuff not. Yeah, that's cool, man. Yeah. And like I said, one of the cool ones that I have is I have most people have WWF figures. I actually have a WCW figure, and it's NWO Hogan and Macho Man. And on the back of the package, so NWO came out, I think, around like 96, right? And so when they made this variation, they didn't make a new back for it. So on the back, it's from like 94, where they had the original Hogan figure when he was not NWO, where he was like Hulk Hogan, Hulkamaniacs, and a regular Macho Man. And so when you end up getting it, and then the packaging is a big ring with them in it. And they're big size. They're kind of oversized, big rubber wrestling toys. And some of that was kind of the style for some of them, but still in the package. The package is damaged. There's some probably cracks and creases and whatnot, but just the fact that it still is in the cardboard, pretty cool. Most people don't own any WCW toys. They're much more rare. And that's the one that I have. So Lex Luger. Yeah. The benches have started to empty. Candelario tried to pick a fight with Cal Raleigh. Get the fuck out of here.
Something in the at-bat when Jamer doubled, did he throw his bat back? Did he drop it oddly or something like that? Because it seemed like Cal had something to say to him. I mean, Cal probably isn't a guy that gets too hot or too heated for no reason.
I would say both benches half empty, slow motion empty. What do you think, Ash?
Well, it was interesting because Julio was over there playing.
Bottom of the fifth, 3-2 Mariners. Ultimate Warrior. Ah. What else do you want to go? See if I can find something old. Hulkamania.
The only thing I can really think of in regards to if it didn't happen at the at-bat, I don't know if you saw when J-Ro was coming around between second and third. I saw him like point out to left.
Dude, look how young Hogan is. My God. Ultimate Warrior Hogan.
I think he thought it was gone. And maybe Cal hit something to say,
Wow. Old school.
it's not gone. You crazy? I don't know.
Old school back in the day.
Kind of speculate though.
This is out to center field. Hill right there.
2 away.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Seattle Mariners and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any quality accounts. The script of this game
Next up, 0 for 2. J.P. Crawford. Let's go, JP.
JP takes a breaking ball for strike one.
Razor Sean, yeah. I mean, if you were a fan back in the day, if you don't say that match was one of your top 5, then you weren't really watching wrestling back then. Obviously, that obviously is known as one of the best. And with those two as well. And if you actually look at their career, like I don't know, I think that's a big reason why WCW's success was so good, because Razor Ramon was such a awesome wrestler, and Diesel was already a character, and then to go outsiders, Kevin Nash, Scott Hall, NWO, Hogan, heel turn, it's just like, it was just the perfect storm. And then they had a bunch of other guys, that were able to kind of come up as well, like the Buff Bagwells and Big Papa Pump and Scott Norton. God, so many of those people. Yeah, but I mean, there's a lot. I guess it depends on what kind of wrestling that you like, bro. Like, I'm really hardcore, so I like ECW, like for like the most entertaining, like RVD in his prime or Sabu. Like, I'm good. Like, that's gonna entertain me. I mean, hell, that's the main reason I started doing backyard wrestling back in the day in the 90s, because of ECW and guys like RVD and Sabu. And then WCW had the legends, and the presentation. And when you have that, it's a perfect storm. And then, I feel like WWF was there, and they're really, really lucky that they ended up, having Rock and Stone Cold, because I know they were getting to a point where they might have to close the doors in the 90s at one point as well. So, but again, the chaos ultimately was the demise, and and then obviously Hogan, having the control. If you guys have ever seen the NWO specials, and when Hogan had creative control and Bischoff became kind of a mark and a fan instead of being the boss, and trying to run shit the right way and letting like the NWO really go, because it was like the hottest thing. I mean, shit, like you had fucking Dennis Rodman, like Mr. Bad Boy. He fucking skipped the finals practice and just went to fucking Nitro. I mean, think about that for a second. How, and Karl Malone was, more WCW with like DDP. Like, it was like the first time where you could actually have basketball players like do a wrestling match. And even though Karl Malone was kind of ridiculous because Rodman's a bad boy, NWO, Hogan, everything's too sweet. That's awesome. It fits because he's wild and crazy, like to drink and party. It fits the mold of NWO. But Malone, it's like, okay, you're the one going against Jordan. But the thing is his body, he's built like kind of a wrestler. So it was a little bit more believable than if any two basketball players did it now. You don't even have the personalities to carry over to actually make it relevant. But you had two Hall of Famers in Malone and Rodman that, it was just a special time that will never be recreated. Oh, man, I love me some Vader. It's Vader time. I always send stuff to either Cyberpunk or Odin's Son. They like Vader like me. So anytime I see like memes or old school matches or highlights or clips or like an old school picture or him in Japan or him just like wrestling. I mean, there's not very many big men, that are like, heavyweight, bigger guys that are like exciting, and obviously Undertaker, has a certain type of style. Kane, kind of a certain type. Kevin Nash. But when you get some guys that maybe are a little chubbier, but that can move, Like Bam Bam Bigelow is another one that me, Odin, and Cyber, and a lot of people like too. I love Bam Bam. Like, sometimes you don't have to have like the perfect wrestler body. Sometimes being like yourself and unique and different and having a different body shape, but if you got cool moves or got a cool intro or you're good on the mic, like people can look past if you're a little fat, or if you're a little chubby. It doesn't matter. There is, you can be skinny, you can be fat, but like I said, are you good on the mic? Are you good in the ring? And then I really like what I got from those two with Bam Bam and Vader. So usually I'm the one that's sharing the photos and the matches when I see them. So, oh yeah, Mikey Whipwreck, the whippersnapper, Tommy Dreamer. Yes. What's good, man? How are you? How's Hawaii? What's good, brother? Did you actually watch it yet? Did you see the replay at all, or are you just looking at all the clips? It's like I need to actually watch the match so that way I can. And I already know it's like at a scale of 1 to 10, it's an 11 because every time that they wrestled, it's always been an 11. So what would make me think it's not an 11 unless someone gets hurt, like Brian Danielson broke his arm in the first 10 minutes and then wrestled for another 10 minutes. If that guy wasn't one of your favorites of all time, but normally if you're and you don't even have to be like a bandwagon with the yes, or the no, or the team hell no. It's if you just like him, past the gimmick of the yes, it's like, it's more than that. If you want to just, chant, like they do for Seth Rollins and everyone does it, or everyone goes, oh, for Cody Rhodes, doesn't mean that they like him. It's just fucking catchy and people like to participate and sing together. Not everyone's a Cody Rhodes fans, but everyone, when the fucking shit goes off, everyone says it at the same time. With Seth, I think more people like him than Cody. You got something catchy, people are going to do it. But yeah. But nothing will be better than that era for me. Yes, exactly. I send pictures. It's at Japan. It's like, the crazy helmet. They did like a statue and shrine. And when he used to wear that fucking crazy ass black helmet, it was like part elephant and like demon. It was like all kinds of craziness. Double play? Yes. There we go. Top of the 6th, 3-2 Mariners. Nice double play. They got Spire in now. Oh, good to hear. Shut up. Did you? You're from, oh no, you're not. Are you really? Dude, that is awesome. And obviously, if you watched Young Rock or seen anything about Bam Bam, obviously, when he's in the ring, a warrior, crazy, obviously, anyone that's willing to get a tattoo on your fucking bald head with flames and shit, obviously, you're not necessarily all there all the time, right? But they said, just like Earthquake, and certain people, that they were just like the best people, like, people that if you needed help, that they would help you. And sometimes, you see these people, remember when they had Earthquake and Typhoon, back in the day, and Earthquake was actually really good friends with Hogan and a bunch of other people. Like if you actually go back and watch these documentaries, sometimes it's like amazing. Like you're like, oh, no way. Like, you see them like wrestle and whatnot, but sometimes you don't think that they actually like hang out, outside, but. Dude, that's awesome. I remember playing one of the old WWF video games, and I would play as Bam Bam back in the day. Old school stuff. And then a big Bam Bam moment for me was watching ECW. Already like Bam Bam. Then I see this RVD guy. I'm like, what is a RVD? What is Mr. Monday Night? What is RVD? I was already intrigued because I was like, this guy dresses like fucking Mortal Kombat. So I was like, and he's like bounces around the ring. I was like, this is something, right? And then you watch like one match or two, and then you're just like, what the fuck did I just watch? It's like everything I ever dreamed in having in a hardcore wrestling match, but it's like regular. And he's like doing all these like athletic moves, and it's like the style that you do the moves, how you kick, how you punch. Like the reason The Rock was so good is he did that little hezzy with his leg before he kicked. He did that kind of like a little wiggle, that little, that little hesitation. Then he would kick down. It wasn't just a normal, boot like Stone Cold, kicking a mud hole in you. He kicking in a mud hole in you. Good old JR. Damn it. Brimstone and hail, right? And then The Rock had his own little, and those little subtle details, that's the shit that we notice, not just, oh, the people's elbow. Well, no shit. Everyone saw that, but it's just a certain way that you talk and the way that you're in the ring. What separates you, from the other people and whatnot. Oh, man, so good. Yeah. And like I said, a lot of us, like for me, like when I started the channel, really it was football and wrestling. I didn't really get a bunch of the wrestling stuff that I wanted, early on. But I mean, those are going to always be my two, the two loves at the top, because it's just been a big, big part of my life and it's never going to end. Like I'm still, baseball, NHL now, NASCAR, and all that. NBA and college basketball is kind of scaled backwards, right? But like, there's never going to be a day that I won't be excited for the NFL through the roof, college football or wrestling. Sometimes it's hard to admit things were better back in the day and they're never going to get better. But sometimes you got to just appreciate what you got. And speaking of that, shout out Randy Orton, RKO. I need you back. And not only do I, Sarah, and every fan on planet Earth. But I don't want you to come back and then get injured and then your career is over. I want to make sure that you're like, okay, before you go in there and whatnot. I don't want him to like come back too early, have one match, and then he's like, well, I got to retire. I fucked my back up again, so. But he's always been in my top 5, as far as like WWE, guys for this like newer generation. I'm a Seth Rollins guy before all this fucking hype and the bandwagons, Seth from way back in the day. Obviously, and I did like obviously Dean and John Moxley more than Roman in the Shield, but I did appreciate that faction. Yeah. But I've been on Seth, when he had no belt and no one wanted to give him the credit or due. But I know who I like to watch, and sometimes people like only get excited when someone has the gold. Have you noticed that? Like when you end up watching someone and they lose the belt, you lose interest. Like they don't have the belt anymore. Why am I watching this match? It doesn't mean as much to me. But, sometimes when a guy is great, you got to be able to watch when they don't have the belt. That's when you can really see, who deserves to have one. And they definitely did not give him the belt for like 5 years, which is fucking insanity. Now they had to fucking make him a belt because of this Roman dumb shit with this, I'm going to have the belt for 20 years. And I'm making guys like Seth, who to me is a bigger star than Roman. Like Seth has always been the number one guy, in my opinion. You know what I mean? Like he's the guy that's got the charisma. He doesn't even need to try, and he's got the juice. You know what I mean? He can just hop on the mic, be himself with a little bit more swagger and loudness, and the fans are going to eat it up just because, like I said, they know how good you are in the ring and on the mic. And like I said, if I had to pick one guy, within the last few years, of course, you're going to have like guys like John Cena, that had an amazing career if you look back on all the accomplishments. But if you're looking, from when the Shield came in till now, who's been the best in the company? I think it's pretty safe to say to me. I mean, just because Seth doesn't have the belt for 2 years like Roman, I mean, who would you get more excited for to watch in a match? Roman in any match, cage, stipulation, one-on-one, even when he's at his very best on the mic and in the ring, or Seth Rollins? It's Seth Rollins. He's going to do more. He's going to be better on the mic. It's just a better experience. And obviously Seth can sell better when you're a bigger guy like that. It's definitely harder to sell and look good at it. And we already know how Roman was terrible on the mic, but has gotten much better. Once he went heel. Sometimes going heel solves everything. Sometimes you can't be Bailey, team hug it out. Hey, give me a hug. Give me a hug. Fuck that. Go heel. And this Bailey is much more interesting with damage control. Being a heel, you just be able to get to see the natural swagger. Who's got the juice naturally. Oh, nice. Cyberpunk, you still in the building? I'm not sure if he's there or not. If he's got anything else he wants me to pull up, I can always do that. And obviously, we're going to normally go through different games. Oh, double play. Damn it. But when someone blesses you, with a incredible gesture, you take care of that person. So obviously we will always get back to the score at one point or another. But for those maybe 5 or 10 people that hopped in when we were doing wrestling photos, well, I should have been maybe calling the game. So, you got to make sure you know what the priorities are. Doing the game is great, but the game will be there. And the people that are supporting you, they are number one. So I don't have any regrets. And plus, you know what? I like looking at wrestling photos past and present. Like that, that never gets old to me. Because I mean, like I said, I'm one of those people. I mean, hell, I still collect wrestling figures to this day. Like I don't really buy anything new, like elite wise or anything. It's usually more old stuff. But I don't buy anything really. I mean, like hell, the last wrestling figures I got them from Odin's son. He got me that Kenny Omega, John Moxley, AEW. It's like with the tables and electric barbed wire and blood and everything. It was just all crazy. And then got me an AEW Series 1 Kenny Omega, Sting, and Chris Jericho. And that was really nice, because it's like I always like stuff like that. I didn't even own any AEW. So he basically got my first AEW for me. And the only thing I'm missing now is Young Bucks if I get like one of those. And obviously maybe a few others, but it's just nice when you have people like Cyberpunk or Odin or Sarah or, who they may be that, does the kind gestures like that. What do you got to go? Anything else that you want to see? You want any chief representation? We can keep going wrestling. I mean, I'll take care of you guys. But if you got more wrestlers to go through, you let me know. I'm Hulk Hogan, Terry Bollea, Ultimate Warrior. The only guy in wrestling that ran down to the ring full speed every time. Full speed every time, and then got in the ring, back and forth, shaking the ropes, right? Oh, man. Fucking Ultimate Warrior. I wish they made his toy better, because like the toy is kind of like the Snuka. So like when I get it, I'll show you, but you push on its back, it's got this little like groove, like a half circle, and you push down, his head pops up, and it kind of just goes up in the air. It's kind of lame. It's like some of the toys they did the toy dirty. Like at least like if you got something like Big Boss Man, right? You pull up, boom, you got the nightstick, boom, boom, nightstick, Boss Man, bang, right? You got to be able to make like the gesture like one of their things. So like when was Ultimate Warrior, jumping up and down? If anything, they should have did something where his arms move up and down like the ring, or like, when he's hanging onto the ropes. So if you like push, squeeze his legs together and maybe his arms go up and down like he's shaking the ropes. Duh. I mean, they should have signed me to make these fucking toys. Or, you get Luke and Butch and, this is, I won't lie, the Luke and Butch with the Bushwhackers doing this gives me more joy than most people get in a day. Just because this reminds me of being 7-8 years old and trying to attack my dad in this exact same pose in the house. And yeah, Bushwhackers, not the best. Legion of Doom and Demolition were way more popular, but I never was blessed with Legion of Doom, but I have thought about trying to, grab a few so that way I can have them here. I probably should. Go, 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 go. Go. There we go. Nice job, Cal. My boy. Bottom of the 6th, 3-2. Runners on the corners now. Right past first base. Let's go, big dumper. My boy. How many photos do you get? 1, 2, 3. Love me and some nostalgia. There's nothing, and it's crazy too. Like when you watch like some of these old like YouTube videos or these old cartoons from like the 80s and 90s, sometimes they'll have like the old commercials recorded also, like McDonald's or Pizza Hut or whatever they're promoting, and those are wild. Like or the toy commercials or video game commercials back in the day. Man, like I got into this one night where I started to watch like this one page or whatever. And I was like, I'll probably only end up watching a couple of these videos. And then it was like 2 hours later, 20 videos in, I was like, wow, this is bringing me back. Or when you get to see like snacks or like drinks that you used to have as a kid and they don't sell them anymore. And you're like, oh my God, I remember those. Crazy stuff. WCW. LWO, ECW, BWO. Oh, LWO with Eddie. But obviously ECW was more of like making fun and whatnot. But it's you had Big Stevie Cool, Steven Richards, the Blue Meanie. I mean, obviously they didn't have the same type of caliber. But I did like the color scheme with the BWO. I think the BWO shirts are much cooler than the LWO. And out of all the ones that did the NWO, Black and White and Wolfpack are the best, right? But I actually prefer BWO over LWO. Like I think LWO is more accessible, but if I was like, I know Odinson would try to get me one time, but like if I can get a vintage BWO shirt, not a new one, but a vintage one that actually fits. If I saw someone wearing that, I definitely would go up to them and say, dude, nice shirt. There's just certain things that if I see, it's like a jersey or a throwback wrestling t-shirt from the 80s or 90s. Yeah. It's like I have to bite my tongue if I can't say anything. I don't need to go up to someone and be like with the too sweet or whatever, but depending on how cool it is and how old school it is, yeah, I might make a comment, say something. Next up for the Mariners, third baseman, 0 for 1 with an RBI, Eugenio Suarez. Let's go, M's. I even put you on the thumb today. He's like, it's my debut on the thumb. Jake Irvin is out. Yeah, 10th big league start. How many Ks did he have? Let's take a look. What did you have? 4 Ks. 5.2 innings pitched, 5 hits, 3 earned runs, 2 walks, 4 Ks. But what about my boy Brian Woo? What did we get with him? And that's what I got to look at. Much better. Let me know where you guys want to go for more wrestling photos. If you want to go down that avenue, Cyber, you let me know. Nothing cooler than this, period. And then I got this. I mean, life was so good. Like growing up, like to be like the first with like the video game era, and the internet era. Like I remember when the internet came out, I was fucking 13. It was 95. But honestly, to go back how things were prior to the internet, that actually was when life was better, because then you would play outside, you check in at dark, you play some video games, but you're outside a lot. Baseball, basketball, football. There was just cards were huge. So you're going to the card shop and stuff, but it's like you spent some time inside playing video games, playing with your toys, and hanging out with friends and whatnot. But it was definitely a different time. Internet was cool when it came out, but like the old school ways, I miss those. And I feel like when I go walk with like Paisley, or if I'm, exercising, you see all these high-end hoops, fiberglass backboards, and all these nice basketballs and, nice area to play in little cul-de-sac and neighborhoods. And you don't see anyone fucking playing on these hoops. It's just kind of sad. Everyone would rather be on their phones or on the internet. I mean, shit, I remember going from like house to house and, in the neighborhood and pretty much ruining every fucking rim because we convinced the owners to be able to have the rim lowered so we could dunk on it. And then we pretended to be Shaq, fucking bent the rim to shit. Then we'd move on to the next house. We didn't mean to do it, but all of us, wanted to dunk like Karl Malone or Shaq, or, we wanted to hang on the rim. And then, that's my memories from back in the day. All the follows, all the Twitters. Yeah, I did see some of these things earlier today. Some are in the right position, some are not. Yeah, but even if you have a top tier core, if the quarterback doesn't have time with the offensive line, then it's just meaningless. Sometimes investing can feel so all over the place. That's why public.com created. Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how shit shakes out for sure. There's going to be some surprises. I mean, obviously, I usually root for, like I said, like the Jags, and but now they're like the top dog, so I don't need to root for them anymore. They were at the bottom. Then they got rid of Urban Meyer. Dougie P was the right one. Trevor, obviously we don't want Trevor to fail. We want like someone that has Andrew Luck ability. You don't have to like him the most, but I think it would be cool. You're not going to probably be like Mahomes, or Allen or Herbert or Burrow. But if you're the next tier below that, I think you could definitely, try to go in that category with like Jalen. And if you could just keep improving, who knows? Maybe the Jags will end up being in the AFC Championship game sooner than later, and that'll get Trevor more love and more pub. But obviously, it's very competitive over there, as we know. So, but we will see. It's like, when I, had Brady, still could do some stuff, but it's like, oh, Mike Evans, oh, Godwin. But like, if you normally need 3.5 seconds and you have, a half a second or 1 second, and then you can't run effectively, so they already know what you're going to be doing. Like if the run game gets taken out of the equation, then those D coordinators feast on you, because then they know your tendencies, where the times where you could get away with like run, pass, first down, second down, third down, then you got to go pass, run. And then, run, pass, run. Then, or play action. Like they figure you out. And then the shit that normally would work if you have a balanced offense, and they get you out there. So, he hit him. Spire just hit Abrams on the elbow. But Cyber, if there's anything else that you want to see, let me know. Very blessed. Brash is coming out. Oh, baby. Let's go. Brash. See what he can do. 3-2 Mariners. 8-4 yesterday. I mean, if we could get a sweep, that would be really good. We just got to be able to find ways to manufacture wins. And again, if we win this will put us at 500, 39-39. And if we sweep them, 40-39, which I know to most people is like, that's garbage. Yeah, I know. But for us, hey, we'll take anything above 500. I mean, just ask Elliot or any other fan that's below 500 right now. It's not fun. It sucks, especially when the team has expectations. But again, sometimes you get surprised. Sometimes you get good news in life, and sometimes you get bad news in life, or you get the woo news. Yeah, and you can definitely tell like the guys that have the best footwork, with wide receivers. It's not all about top end speed. Hands are great, but if you have great footwork to get you that separation, that's really one of the biggest assets for any wide receiver, especially when you got a guy trying to jam you and you can, brush the arms away and you can make a couple moves with your legs without tearing your fucking ACL. And then all of a sudden you go fake one way, go the other. And you definitely can tell with like, the great route runners, they make it look so easy. Or they have like little quirks in their game. Like Doug Baldwin and Devontae Adams with that little skip that they do right at the, hike, and they do a little skip like they're like a little kid. And then when they skip in the air, you don't know where they're going to land. And, then you're fucked already at that point. And each guy took that to like another level. I was just about to ask you what you were thinking. As Terra Rising. Terra, Terra Rising. Terra Rising. I don't know if it's that one. It's crazy on how, the Hunter Hurst Helmsley.
does not seem like an especially easy pitcher to bunt against. Rivals not seem as
Some of them are going to be a little tough to find if I can find a good one. Let's see here. I did find an old one from King of the Ring 97. Triple H and Mankind in the prime early on. And there's one with Henry Godwin, the Godwin twins. Oh my God, old school. Yeah, and they did it two different ways. Terror, Terror, Ryzen, Risin, and then they also did Terra, Terraryzing. They actually kind of played around with the spelling and whatnot. So this one won't fit the screen, but let's see if I can even get it. Look at this. Bro, Terra Rising? Man, I mean, I know I get it with like gimmicks and like wordplay. Justin Credible, right? Terror, they said Justin Credible's pretty cool. Terra Rising, brilliant. Let's do that. And he's like, I don't know if this is gonna work. And then Hunter Hurst Helmsley, and then Triple H. You know, sometimes you just gotta shorten it down. Terra Rising. Unbelievable. Most people don't even know that is, yeah, way. And then, and again, they had a couple different ways that they were spelling it and whatnot. Oh, I got a crazy one that you probably have no idea about, or you forgot at the very least, or maybe had no idea. See if you recognize this person in WCW. Probably never thought that they were even there. Or maybe it was like, you know, such a long time ago. But this one will be like, what? Whoa. Ready? Who's that? Damon Stryker. WCW. Pro Wrestling. I mean, I don't know who else that could be besides Damon Stryker. Edge. Wild. Top of the seventh, Mariners 3, Washington 2. Runners at first and second. Brash in on the mound. Lane Thomas in the box. Come on, baby. I don't know exactly what keywords. Yeah, the Triple H WCW debut is Terra Rising. And then Terra Rising versus Jobber Leroy Howard. Oh my God. Oh, bases loaded, no outs, not good. Yeah, some people, it just depends, I guess, if you had a cable or if you watched it or not, you know. And sometimes it just depends on, you know, how much you loved wrestling back in the day. Bro. Looks like he'd be part of like the Hollywood Blondes, or he'd be like in something with Arn Anderson, you know, one of the Horsemen. You know, put him with the Four Horsemen, Ric Flair and Arn Anderson. That's what he kind of looks like. Get over here.
year, Brash has allowed multiple walks in an outing.
Come on, Brash. Top of the 7th, no outs, bases loaded, and we're head 3-2. Don't blow the game away here. We need like a double play, like a mother sucker. And of course, Garcia's up. I decided to put him on the thumb. Why did I do that? I was like, oh, let me put this guy on here. Oh, I'm about to win the game. God damn it. So I got to give him his props. Come on, baby. We got to get a double play. We got to get out of this somehow.
Great job just getting out ahead of it. And Garcia is one of those guys in this stats lineup, young hitter, but
I got his God damn it. Damn it. They just scored. Now it's tied up 3-3. I do know his first, so obviously the WCW with the Terror Rising, right, with Triple H, and then at this point he had a jobber match going into. Let's see. He had a jobber match. Is this the right one? There it is. And when this one, and then that was the first appearance on Raw versus John Crystal in '95. So you get the WCW version. And the WWF version. Top of the 7th, we're knotted up at 3. Runners at first and second. Yeah, it's just wild to be able to see like the old school shit from back in the day. Come on, Brash. Game's already tied. Here's another one. The good old days in wrestling back in the 90s, 80s and 90s. Fantastic. Terra Rising. Oh, baby. No, new world order. Reds won. Popped up by Candelario. Get that, Julio. Get it. 2 away. There we go. Tied up at 3. Got to find a way. Good defense, Julio. Let's go, baby. Top of the 7th, we're knotted up at 3. Meneses in the box, takes a strike. Runners at first and second, 2 outs. Meneses. Joey. I don't want to hear that. Batting .429, runners in scoring position. I don't want to hear that. .429 with a home run and 36 ribbies with guys in scoring position. Boo. Well, there goes that photo. Mariners. The Mariners. Shep, my boy, how are you? What's good? Top of the 7th, 3-3. Runners at first and second, 2 away. Hope everyone is doing good. We're just looking at wrestling photos and just hanging out and chilling. Good competitive game here with the Mariners and the Nats, 3-3. Did he go? No, he did not. Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, Yeah, it looks like there'll be some changes, for me, like, living situation and everything within the next like 1 to 6 months. So things are getting situated, I guess. So, but I'm still going to be able to record and get things done. Let me know what you guys want to do, if there's anything there picture wise. Yeah, we had like old Triple H terrorizing. This one, the Edge one, I don't remember, like in the WCW side, that one at all. Like, have you seen this, Shep? Do you remember this at all? Everyone's different age and whatnot, but the WCW Damon Stryker? Like, but again, I mean, like I said, you're probably depending on what program you're watching at what time. And obviously that was before, Edge and Christian and whatnot. So pretty wild. All right, we're going to the bottom of the 7th. Come on, Mariners. Can't lose to this team. Got to get to 500. Got to find a way. All right, baby. And the bottom of the 7th, 0 for 2 with 2 Ks. Left fielder, Jared Kelenic. Batting second this inning, 0 for 2 with a K. DH for Seattle, Mike Ford. And batting third this inning, 0 for 2. Second baseman, Elliot's favorite player on planet Earth, Colton Wong. Yeah, but we were doing throwback stuff like this. You remember this? Terra Rising before Triple H and Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Just fucking crazy, dude. But you got to start somewhere, right? There's always going to be gimmicks of, Undertaker and all these people until you find the right one. It's very rare. You just start off and that first one is the one that you are forever. Like, there has to be a little development and growth. Like, remember when Dwayne Johnson came through, and he was wearing like the blue and he had like a tribal look, when he was Rocky Maivia, and obviously, starting off his face, and then you got to go Nation of Domination and being the heel and, learning how to spit on the microphone. And, this wouldn't have been good with Rocky Maivia. Like, what would have it been if they promoted that? Like, at the highest ceiling, something like a John Cena, but it never would have ever got to that point. Sometimes you got to have the look, the theme song, the moves. Now, what are they debating right now? That Kelenic is out? Now they're doing some kind of review. What's going on here? Is it like a violation or something, or is he ejected? Scott Service is trying to get the lowdown here. $1 million finisher, or like Mikey Whipwreck, the whippersnapper. I do like Stone Cold Show though on A&E, where he goes and does certain things where they write to him. Like he got to drive like a Lambo and a Ferrari, like on a course. Got in a helicopter. He's always doing like these kind of crazy things and whatnot. I'm a big Stone Cold guy. Regardless, whatever Stone Cold is doing, I'm buying. He's a big part of my life, just like The Rock. And I always root for those two, and that was a big part of my life back then. And you don't replicate talent like that. It was a very special time, and there's nowhere. There's so many guys that are like even Seth Rollins and his charisma and where he's at. He's not Stone Cold or Rock. Seth is great, and he's one of the best of this generation. But years down the road, are people going to say Seth is better than The Rock or Stone Cold? And the answer is no, because that's how great they are. Sometimes it's with like that Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, legend talk. Some stuff like back then you're not going to replicate. Even though there's some guys that are worthy, like Seth or Randy Orton, certain guys now. Wild pitch. Chief Will Chief is in the building. What's good? Oh, it's nice. I finally got a day where Shep, you're in here with Chief Will Chief. Yeah, the Shield. Bottom of the 7th, 3-3 Mariners and Nationals. Glad to see like most of the mods in here. And obviously I sometimes I have to reach out to, the special people like a Shep or Odin or a Cyberpunk. Sometimes things are good for me. Sometimes things are kind of tough. And I'm glad that we have good people coming through and definitely Cyberpunk doing Cyberpunk type of things. So, yeah. Well, normally we don't get donos over 100 every day, let alone something that's going to be a 2 or a 3 or a 4. We know Shep and Cyberpunk are big contributors to the channel, just like Holly was, and many, many others. Some that are here with us and some that are not. Nate the Great, love you. But I appreciate you guys very, very much. It's going to help because, like I said, there's going to be changes here with my living situation and, just everything. I mean, I'm still going to be grinding and everything, but the real thing is like, with Paisley, do I get Paisley? Does Paisley stay here? Do I have to come, visit? Because it's like, I'm already almost like 2 years in, and this is like my daughter. I don't just like fall in love with a daughter or my, pup, and then just be like, well, if you're not with the person anymore or you're moving out, it's like that's gonna, be an interesting situation. So even if I get another puppy for myself, it's like I'm definitely, I have too much love, in my heart. I can't walk away and just be like, feel good about myself. You know what I mean? Like I would be thinking about her too much. That's, real love. So it's good, man. Now I gotta educate you guys. I just saw your message, man. Yeah, no worries, dude. Like I said, I only get to certain points where, like it's like usually the donos are coming in, but sometimes, bills come up and, you need to be able to pay it now. And then if you're doing like the YouTube stuff, you're waiting a month. It's like I'm always used to getting paid typically once a week or once every 2 weeks. So this once a month stuff, it's sometimes you need to be able to have money to survive or to pay shit, on time so you don't get like penalized and whatnot. So no worries, brother. Yeah, but just the living situation, because like I said, I mean, normally when I'm with someone for typically a long time. The last girlfriend that I was with for like 6-7 years. This one is 8. You know what I mean? So I've never been married. I don't got any kids of my own or whatnot, and stuff. But a lot of times I feel with like content creators, not just myself, but others, that are big and some that are smaller. If you don't have someone that is like supported, or supporting you. Like if there's someone's a hater or they're not supporting or they don't believe, a lot of times I think people nowadays, at least not only me, but it's like if you get in a relationship and you're with someone for a little bit or a long time, and if you end up breaking up and then you need to be able to like move, but a lot of times, things are tough, and like you got to be able to move, but sometimes you're stuck unless you can have enough money to figure things out, and you got to, find a game plan to decide what you're going to do. So it sounds like sometime between now and December, it could be soon. It could be at that point, but the main thing is I'm going to not be able to probably see Paisley every day unless she's with me. But I do have like another place, and, I more than likely will probably have to, family, I have to, and stuff. Cause if things improve, then obviously, if I have, I'm kind of with me, I'm not going to just live with anybody. You know what I mean? Like, I think with me, it's like honesty and trust and obviously with what I do and my schedule and whatnot. So, but, regardless of what happens, I'm not going to abandon, Paisley. I'm going to, first see if I can maybe have her full time. And then if not, then I'll, definitely have my times. Cause I imagine there'll be times where people are not wanting to take care and want to go party, and, and I will be able to spend time and whatnot. So, but I just want to be able to, and the good thing is I actually checked the addresses and, potential, what's going to happen. And if I can actually get like the Ziply so I can have the good internet and everything is a good to go. So like I said, at this point, it's just a matter of time, and then what I want to be able to do. But it's like, I like me and Paisley have such a good relationship. It's like, she's a big part of like my life and everything, especially if you're spending, 20 hours of your waking day every day for 2 years with either a person or a dog. And I know my dog gets treated better than most people. So it's a tough situation, you know what I mean? But I mean, this is my dream. This is my goal, and this is my legacy. So yeah. And that's why, like I said, if I have to ask my family or close friends, sometimes friends need to help friends out, or people, can help and support. I mean, I think a lot of us, aren't really the type to ask for help. Always try to get shit done if needed. But yeah, I'm sorry that happened, man. Like I said, I never thought, what happened in 2022 and the success that we had, and then like what would happen in 2020. I didn't think it would be this challenging. I know there's going to be ups and there's going to be downs, and there's going to be some days, subs, views, and donos, and some days things are going to be light, or maybe not a lot of people, or maybe light on the donos, but at least my mom and my dad got him at home. Kellenick is out at home, damn it. But at least they support. They don't like watch or anything like that, but just, being positive about it, which is better than a lot of people that are here in Oregon. Since I do have like one of the bigger sport channels in the Pacific Northwest and, Oregon and Washington and whatnot. But I mean, as long as I believe in me and I got a place where I feel safe, and then I can just, do my thing, and I'm always going to be working hard. And obviously I don't want to be in a position where I'm just like stressed out like a lot of us are, with fucking being able to get shit paid and this bill after bill. It's like, and obviously we work so that we can play on the weekend. But sometimes when you have like dreams and goals like this, I'm fucking working 7 days a week, let alone, it is my dream. So sometimes when you do something you love, they say it's not work. But that's kind of bullshit, because yeah, sometimes it is. You have to keep your mental health in a good spot. You have to be able to, bring the energy. You have to be able to make a good thumb. You have to be able to interact. You just can't be off your game, and have a F attitude or a D attitude, but it's like, I do like the grind and the hustle. And also, a lot of this compared to doing uploads, I feel it does help with the mental health, because it's kind of therapy. And like I said, a lot of times when I, hang out with people back in the day, people would open up. I never really tell anybody what to do, because that's the worst thing that you should do. If anyone is going to talk to you, you just shut the fuck up. You listen. And then if they ask you deeper, like, what do you think, or what, then you can say, but a lot of times people just need someone to talk. And I think it's good. We got a good bond, and, we definitely have kept a lot of the trolls and the haters out. Yeah, the numbers could have been higher with the sub count, but I would rather be where we're at now than at 20,000 or 21,000, and then just have it be total chaos. Because then if that happens, people like Mike Morgan wouldn't be a part of this channel at all, and we wouldn't have the blessing to know him. And I know some of us are a little bit more, not necessarily thick-skinned. It's just that sometimes people are not willing to put up with the drama or the bullshit. We already do it at home or at work or with fucking people on the road, middle fingers and, yelling out the window, right? So it's like, we already know people are going to be toxic online on like Instagram or Twitter or YouTube or Twitch, but it is also kind of nice to be able to like find a spot where it's like, you got your own little clique, and it's nice, and everyone's spread across the United States, but we all have shit in common. We all have that passion and love for sports or for wrestling or both. And then other things too, music and a lot of other stuff, lots of different races, ages, cultures. It's a nice collection and vibe. And we've gotten a lot more older people on the channel in the last, year or two too. So it's a nice blend of young and old, different perspectives. And that's what it's about. 18 to like 90. If you have 18, to 90 years old, mentality, that's a lot more wide range than a lot of other channels, which is usually like a demographic. Like 25 to 34, that's who watches your channel, Yeah, but I know a lot of people, I guess, that are, kind of in that situation where, maybe they're living with an ex or they're in the process of trying to figure shit out. But again, mental health is number one. So you just got to make sure, things are situated and go there. But like, I've never had this feeling like, how people say like, oh, I've been in love and this and that. And, usually with me, it's like, I'm either by myself or with someone for like a long time, 6 to like 8 years or something like that. But I've never felt I don't have any kids, I've never been married. You know what I mean? I've just always been kind of a hustler and a grinder. And then obviously I have goals and dreams. And, sometimes when you have goals and dreams, certain things, I'm always willing to put effort and do things, if the effort is matched. But you see how things, go sometimes in relationships and whatnot. So not everything is perfect. And honestly, most people that get married and most people that are in like relationships, they probably shouldn't even be in relationships. The culture nowadays is, getting in an argument and then just say, fuck it, or there's other options. People don't want to work shit out like our parents' generations and people that are old school, they fucking fight and shit and whatever. Right. But some of these people have been together for 20 to 50 years. That shit is so rare nowadays for like the loyalty and, this behavior of like, you make me mad or whatever, or, something so petty and little, and then it's just over, I'll find someone else, So that's kind of scary for a lot of the people I feel that are like maybe 50 and under. So if you're like 20 to 50 and you're in the dating scene, you know what I mean? I guess it just depends on which generation and what you're looking for and whatnot. But Paisley's my focus, and I've never felt that way. Yeah, I appreciate that. And my dad's getting old, and my mom is getting older as well. So, but also I got to be able to, it's okay. What's the option for me? My dad or my mom? Is there another family member? Okay. Do I have friends? You know what I mean? It's like, do I have friends that I can trust? It's especially when you do what I do. It's like I can't, necessarily just, just anybody. I don't know if you guys are the same way. You know what I mean? But shit is just so expensive. Food and rent and all that, and then like sometimes with me, like normally I have a car, I have a vehicle, but some like I had one, it broke, so it's like it's sometimes people are like, oh, you're a YouTuber, you're rich, you got this, you got that, it's like not every situation is as glamorous as your sub count or your donos for the night. It's a grind and a hustle. People know how hard it is to succeed on a social media platform and also be genuine and be real and not be a fad, something where it's just going to be popular for like, a couple months and then you fade into non-existence. Like the Island Boys, everyone can have their 5 seconds of fame, but I'm trying to do legacy. I'm trying to be able to leave a legacy behind so that way sports fans can see what someone that is truly not biased exists on planet Earth and what type of caliber of fans that we have a part of the NWSF. Back. Gone. Damn it. You got to be shitting me. They just tied it up. Ruiz with the homer. You got to be shitting me. What a game. Yeah. And I appreciate that. That's why, I mean, sometimes, people are shocked, they see like a certain sub count. They don't understand why certain numbers are, lower than they should be. I mean, fuck it, I wish I could have a little bit more pull with, opportunities for eyeballs, but I feel that if you are determined and you're hungry and, you're a good worker and you're a grinder, as long as you don't quit and you keep improving your craft and, making things better, eventually something good will come out of it, so, thumbnails needed to be improved. I always knew that from day one, didn't never know how to do it or use the green screen back in the day. And, some things take a little bit longer than others, but, I'm always trying to be able to mix it up for you guys. So wherever we go and we mix it up and, it's not just one thing. You never know. You might see me here We might disappear my ugly mug. You might look at some stats. We might go this route, right? Little scoreboard. Boom, we're inside the page. And then you got OCD. You need me on the left. Boom, I'm right there. And there I am. Producing a show and just doing a show is completely different. And I do appreciate that very much, and I appreciate that. Yeah, true. And that's why I have to, I don't drink, really. And so, and luckily in Oregon, you got, wineries, breweries, dispensaries. There's options in Oregon. It's legal here, right? And for everyone's got their little vices, but exercise has been really big. And, just being around Paisley and her interactions with her, it makes me happy. There's not a lot of things. You guys make me happy. The grind, it's never going to be about the fame or the money. It's just about connection and being able to bring people together and help people, and give you guys a little piece of what it's like out here in the Northwest. So, yeah, we got something special, and like I said, I honestly do feel if we got the proper eyeballs, on us, we could get just as much as anybody out there. It's just a matter of getting the opportunity. Because I know if you look at all the bigger fan bases, if they had an opportunity to talk to you guys or see what I'm about, I guarantee that we would get a good majority that watch those other hosts that would definitely be a part of this channel too. So, just because that people are sleeping, it's all right. Eventually this will be the popular thing to sub to, and then we'll get a bunch of followers that will sub just because of other people subbing. So, we're not there yet, but we'll get there. Yeah, he's breaking it all down. All the wide receivers, the technique. He loves technique and the breakdown. And then he did a little, we don't have a whole lot of NFL news that's going on. It's kind of a slow thing, but he did this earlier. And then obviously, PFF and like Twitter and Instagram, they'll have things, from time to time that, and we can agree to disagree. Sometimes it's definitely wrong, but they just do it for conversation's sake. But again, with this, if you don't have a quarterback that's got time, you're not going to get the most, or a quarterback that gets a bunch of concussions like Tua. I mean, Tyreek and Waddle are insane, but you got to be able to have someone to get on the ball. So. Yeah, I'm ready for the NFL, though. For shizzle. Yeah, me too. And like I said, that also the diversity, started also based off my hunger to dip my hat into many, different things. Like if you would have told me years ago that I would be doing baseball and NASCAR and basketball and college, I mean, besides like, March Madness or something, like I would have been like, I don't know, football and wrestling maybe, but those things. And, it's definitely got to a point where it makes me work harder, but it's made me smarter. And I learn a lot from you guys that, are experts on those things more than me. Like people that have been watching NHL and been sticking with the years as they've gone along. Like they followed the good players. Like, if someone is following NHL like NFL, I haven't been, but if they have, then I can learn something, because I used to watch NASCAR and NHL. And I followed the NBA and college hoops heavy when I was a kid in the 80s and 90s. But then I got to like the early 2000s. I didn't have anyone to talk hockey or like NASCAR with. So I kind of just like stopped having an interest. I didn't watch it as much. But now I'm back because obviously doing this is my dream. When you have a dream project and you need material when it's not football season, instead of doing videos of, what Devontae Adams had for dinner, being able to do games of other sports, it's a nice way to be able to get new fans because not everyone that's a football fan or wrestling fan is going to be a baseball, NASCAR, or hockey fan. So I like the diversity too. All right, we're going to the bottom of the 8th. We're knotted up at 4. Leading off for the Mariners, 0 for 2 with a base on ball. Center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. Batting second, 2 for 3 with 2 runs. First baseman, Ty France. And batting third, 1 for 2 with a run, 2 RBIs and a base on ball. Right fielder, Teoscar Hernandez. All brand new photos for the Mariners. Okay, JP. I had to switch it up. I mean, I got photos on photos on photos, but I wanted new poses. So I wanted new stuff. And I mean, you got to have the new sometimes. The new. Yeah, and like I said, it's just, a lot of my friends I think are in that same boat, either, boyfriend, girlfriend, and sometimes shit don't work out, and then you got to make a game plan, unless it's like really toxic, then it's like you're out or this person's leaving, and then you have to really like hustle and figure shit out. It's like, something ends abruptly, and then it's like you barely have time to pack. It's like it's so bad, you're like bye, and those moments are terrible. I think all of us have had a moment kind of like that, maybe when we were younger with like a previous roommate or previous girlfriend or boyfriend and whatnot. So yeah, but no married, no kids. And I think I'm like the only one out of my friend group. And like, I went to 2 different high schools, out of like my friends, I literally am the only one is like chasing the dream and the goals. But on that flip side, I don't have any kids and I've never been married. So I know some of y'all are in the same boat with me, but it's like a very rare thing. A lot of people got the kids now, and a lot of people have been married at least once or more, but maybe, sometimes it's just not meant to be, or get married and then it, get treated terribly and then get a divorce and I lose half of my shit. No thanks. I know there's prenups and shit like that, but 2 jobs, 3 jobs. I mean, it took me so long to get to be full-time, and that's why, like, yes, I know I can do any job on the phone. I did customer service on the phone for any big company for like 20 years, that or like warehouse, but I want to be happy. And I'm fucking 41, it's like, you live, you die. I want to be able to have a legacy and I want to do what I love, and if that means being fucking sometimes broke as shit, but I'm doing my dream, then that's better than me doing a piece of shit job. And then I barely get to do this and I'm fucking miserable. Yeah, I'm paying the bills on time, but I'm fucking miserable. And I'm too old for this shit, especially when you have talent, you know what I mean? And maybe you haven't hit that big stepping stone moment yet, you know what I mean? But you guys are great. And I know that we're going to get there and I'm never going to quit. I've been tested many times. I'll get knocked down a little bit. Mental health is a motherfucker, but Paisley, is a big improvement. You guys help with that on the daily. And again, like I tell people, if I wasn't doing this channel, I probably would be doing like a Twitch or a YouTube with gaming. And if I wasn't doing that, it'd be doing like making beats, with Brooks, or, being like a Boys and Girls Club, mentor, therapist, psychologist, something like, some type of person that can make a difference, for kids and for people too. So same. Yeah. Damn right they do. Yeah. Cunha, man. Strider, you guys are the best team in baseball, not named the Rays or the Rangers. And if you make it, you should win because you're the Braves. So it's really your championship to lose. So if you guys can embrace that and know it's your championship to lose, then that's what's going to get you to the World Series. Otherwise, something might happen in the playoffs and and it won't be the Dodgers. It'll probably be some other team, Diamondbacks or some other weird team like the Phillies last year. And then, but it kind of feels like the Braves are, it could be them. Rangers and Rays are good, but I wouldn't count out the Yankees or Astros either once they get healthy with Yordan Alvarez and Aaron Judge. But yeah, well, you got hitting and you got pitching, Yeah, I can't wait to play fantasy football and beat you by 0.5. Yeah, me too. And that's why, we'll end up doing some freestyle streams. So if you ever see a stream where it says Northwest Sports Fanatics Live, then that's just us doing a freestyle. So there'll probably be other things in the background. Sometimes that means there's no late baseball games or any like games on. Maybe there's like wrestling, like Dynamite or something, But if I ever have it listed like that, we'll just have like a nice tropical background and, we'll end up doing wrestling or food or, whatever the news is. So I'll try to sprinkle in like 1 or 2 of those a week. I know that there might not be a whole lot of views on those, but it'll be good for some of the OGs and some newbies to experience that kind of freestyle stream, which I do enjoy. And we usually have the craziest conversations and we bring up crazy photos when we do that, or sometimes we'll get into stuff like music and whatnot. Like we did that a little bit yesterday. We stayed on for 30 minutes, and then Elliot had me bring up like Tyler, the Creator, and we had a little like Bon Jovi and some like cool like band photos and rappers and stuff. It's cool to be able to mix it up a little bit. So all the good food. Yeah, I appreciate you too, brother. Chiefs is doing the investigating. He's like, how you feel? Is that what you think?
In 10 years, Lisa Schneider will have an amazing second act, thanks to career reskilling courses.
All right. I appreciate you. Thank you, Sarah. Always doing a good job being committed. And that's why I chose, Sarah to be the lead. There was a couple other people that definitely I feel that, could have been in the running for it. But sometimes, you got to be able to find that right-hand man or woman, that knows sports, but also that's going to have that dedication to be able to stick it out when things are tough, when there's not a lot of people in the room and conversation's a little dry and we're waiting for people to show up. And sometimes they don't. We're going to have, streams that are obviously will have lots of people in them, but, every once in a while, sometimes, people are busy. And I appreciate everything that you do. O-Dog ain't giving up his wrestling figures to nobody. I mean, dude, the wrestling figures are a big part of my life, dude. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if wrestling figures weren't important, I mean, would I have the fucking Hollywood Hogan NWO with the belt and the fucking spray paint in front of me? And not only that, I'm so NWO and NWO for life. I got the motherfucking NWO guardrail. Come on, man. The guardrail? Because they told me, man, if you're NWO, you're NWO for life. And I got a couple Scott Halls, Kevin Nash's. I like the old school NWO wrestling figures are amazing. They are amazing. Like if you can actually get the vintage ones from the 90s when the NWO was coming out, some of them you squeeze the legs and they do like an action, and they are amazing. And then their faces are so articulate. Like, most of the WWE ones look like the wrestler, not like some bobbleheads or figures like McFarlane where they fuck the face up. Like I remember I got a Damian Lillard when it was like his rookie, and they made the face look like Andre Miller or some other random dude that it looked like a default player on like 2K or Live. I'm like, this is not Damian Lillard, and they already produced it. I don't know why. It looked horrible. And then they did a second version later with a different pose, and that one was perfect. But yeah, no one getting my wrestling figures, man. No one's getting my Big Boss Man, my Luke or Butch, my Hulk Hogan. Right. And honestly, even if he ends up not being the starter and he's like the backup, it'll bring out competition and you'll be able to see, is he the one or do you need to get someone better? Because if you look at the supporting cast, the running back that you drafted, the tight end that you drafted, the wide receiver that you drafted, Pitts and London, all the swagger at the running back position, like everything, you got a little triangle trifecta there. So you need to build the O-line, get a quarterback, whether it's Ritter or someone better, keep beefing up the defense. And then at one point or another, it wouldn't be shocking to think that if they have those pieces in line, that maybe they can get to 10 wins and be a wild card team in the next 5 years. But again, we'll see how far the Panthers and the Falcons get. But you definitely do have a triangle of amazing talent at running back this year at rookie, and then with Pitts and with Drake London. It's just a matter of, do you have an O-line? What about the coaching and the play calling? And the defense needs a hell of a lot of work. So O-Dog is not giving wrestling figures to nobody. That's just going to be my saying for the rest of my life. Just randomly when I'm in public, I'll just say that. They'll be like, dude, what's wrong with this guy? He's talking about these fucking wrestling figures. Love them, man. I'm going to win by 0.5. No, I don't want to win by 0.5. I want to blow you out by like 30 in fantasy, but yeah, I'm live every day. When your financial situation is challenging, 9 times out of 10, it's been a much more challenging this year than last year. Like if I showed you the numbers, your jaw would hit the floor from like where, things were and where, you'd be like, how are you even living? Like, how are you even recording right now? But, as long as I got a roof, somewhere and I can eat and I got Paisley, everything, and, the bills and everything, I never can buy anything for myself, but I don't need to buy shit. I got plenty of shit. I just need to take care of Paisley, be a good human being, and do my dream, stay focused, don't stray and party, and just keep grinding, spending time with you guys, and creating the legacy, and then obviously getting outside and getting my exercise in too for my mental health. So yeah, I didn't mention it, but I went to earlier in the broadcast, but I got a chair from a couple that was throwing out these patio chairs, these metal ones with a cushion. They were like $10 to $20 chairs for like outside patio. They were throwing like 4 of them away. I grabbed one, I took it down to the river, walked about a mile with it, put it down in the spot and left it there. So that way when it's, in the morning, I don't want to have to sit down on the grass or the dirt. I got a chair to sit at, and people can fish from the bank and sit in the fucking chair or just relax. And lo and behold, I go down there and there's this old ass man down there. I'm like with a fucking fishing pole. And I was like, shit, I wanted to smoke and like hang out with Paisley and have like my little hour to 2 hours. And, I left him there. I was like, good luck, man. And I was like, oh, I hope that, I was like, I see someone's using my chair and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I was like, hopefully nobody steals it. Cause there's an RV park. Like if you walk down the path, there's an RV park that's right on the water. And then there's that spot. And then like underneath the bridge and whatnot. And once you go underneath the bridge, you walk a little ways. And then that's where people sometimes will, they'll put their canoes or their devices and they'll float, down there. And there's ducks and fish and all that. But it's like that one spot where it's open. You got to go down some brush. And that's where I fell and almost tore my ACL. But it's a nice little clearing. It's not a lot of room, but it's like maybe 10 feet by 10 feet, and there's like brush and, and birds chirping and everything. But once you get down there, there's a little room, where you can just kind of hang out. And now I think this guy, he's like, oh, this motherfucker brought a chair. So I hope he's not there every day or I'm going to have to find a different time. Cause it's like, he kind of fucked my day up a little bit by, being there, but it's cool for him to be able to fish. And now he's got a little spot there. So yeah, I mean, assuming, I'm pretty much every day. So I have to, like I said, if we were hitting 100 in donos or 200 in donos every day, kind of like what we were at for a stretch in 2022, then yeah, I wouldn't have to record every day. And then things would be less stressful for me. And I could actually go buy shit for myself or travel and, do other things. But, when you're, at a different type of mode, and then it's like fight just to survive, And of course, it's not like I'm against, getting a part-time job for 1 to 3 days or doing a full-time job. But I think if you were me and it took 10 years to get to this point, do I have to take a step backwards? It's not a failure. Sometimes you just need enough money to survive. But, based off this other situation that I have, I might be a little bit better off, not have to pay, so much, and so the stress should be maybe a little bit better. And then I can start paying back things that need to be paid back. And, maybe my overall, besides the Paisley part, that's going to be, one thing. But other than that, in the next 1 to 6 months, my situation should be much better mentally and I think financially, and things will be better. But I know you guys are going to obviously be ride or die for me no matter what. So yeah, absolutely. All right, Cal is up. The dumper. My boy Cal Raleigh. Come on, baby. Bottom of the 9th. We're tied up at 4. No outs. This is the end of the game. Let's fucking go, baby. Big swing and a miss. 0-2 count. OCD, you need me over here? I'm over here. You don't need me? Then I'm right here. Then I'm here. Then we got stats. And now we have this. I actually kind of like this one, just based off the size of the screen, what I look like, and then little miniature scoreboard above. And it just depends on what kind of stats, I guess, that we want. I like having flexibility, not having just one camera angle and being able to produce on the fly. And I think I have 3 other spots that I can try to come up with another look. So those, I got 5 right now. So Chop foul. 1-2 count. Come on, Cal. Waiting for a Mike Ford homer. Could happen. He's got a ways to go, though. It's Cal, Suarez, Kelenic, and then Ford. So maybe he'll get an opportunity. CW says, I need the fucking Mariners for the parlay. There's a good chance that we could sweep. We just need to get this to get to 500. And then once we get this, then we can go one game above 500. And I know beating the Nats, it's like, dude, you guys are idiots. You suck. Yeah, we know. We're not fucking stupid. We know that the pitching hasn't been as good. We know the hitting hasn't been there. I mean, hell, when your team's been hitting 230, or less for a team, you're probably not very good. You're 500 or a little bit under. So, but with that being said, if you actually look at where people are, if you actually look at the screen there and see where Seattle is in fourth, yeah, we're ahead of Oakland. We're garbage, I know. But look how many games that we're behind with Houston and the Angels and Texas. It's like doable. All we got to do is just play a couple shitty teams or get into a fight like we did with the Angels last year and then beat the shit out of a couple people, punch them in the fucking mouth, right? And then win 14 fucking games in a row, right? Is that going to happen this year? No, but that's what got us going last year is that fucking Angel fight when they hit Winker and we said, fuck you, and ripped off like 12 to 14 in a row. And then we ended up making the playoffs and then we get celebrations like this, right? But it is what it is. Next up, third baseman, Eugenio Suarez. Let's go, Gino. And I did put Gino on the thumb for the very first time. Foreshadowing? I don't know. We'll see. Bottom of the ninth, we're knotted up at 4, 2-1 count. Gino in the box. 6 game-winning RBIs this season for Eugenio Suarez. Takes a strike right down the middle looking. 2-2. Well, if we end up getting a run here, we got 2 outs. So if we get a run, the game's over. If we don't get a run, then it goes extras. Yeah, a lot of the bettors and other people are going to be, peeking in. Anytime I end up having a Mariner game and it's close, it's in the 9th, or we go into extras, then you're always going to get a spike because I'm really the only one that does the Mariner games on a regular basis on YouTube. So. Everyone's got the bets. They're like, fuck, what's going on with my bet? I mean, I'll give you the best information I can, but when you're dealing with a Mariner team in 2023 compared to last year, it's different. Oh, he got it. Go. Oh, he went to dive for it. And he dropped it. Oh, baby. Go. Oh, baby. Stand up double for Eugenio Suarez, baby. They went for a diving Superman catch. He thought he was Soulja Boy, and then he fell to the ground. He missed it, right? Did the Superman. Great hit, great connection by Gino. And if you're going to dive, you got to make sure you get it. He dove, and it bounced about 2 feet in front of him. And then it went behind another outfielder and hit the wall almost. And at that point, I mean, if Gino was fast, it maybe could have been a triple, but we'll take the double. And now we have a pinch runner in for him. Who is it? Jose Caballero is at second now. So we might be able to win this here. Wow, that was crazy. I mean, we also, have seen with the Mariners, matching up against the Yankees, the Marlins, the Orioles, and now the Nats. There has been a lot of diving catches and also diving misses. Because that's when when the teams are not very good or we're below 500 and we're desperate. Like sometimes you got to dive. Like speaking of, Kelenic dove for a Superman earlier in the game and he missed. And normally he makes those. So next up, my boy, Jared Kelenic. Let's go, Jared. Be electric, baby. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the ninth. We're knotted up at 4. Runners at first and second. 1 away. Harvey, 14 pitches in. 0-1 pitch. Low and outside. 1-1 count. Dylan Moore in the box. Dylan. I know he went many, many, many games without a hit, and he's at, what, .67. So I think he's gotten, 1 hit out of who knows how many how many games has he played? 5 to 8, something like that. I mean, he just debuted recently, and it's taken him a minute. But even with that being said, we're still rooting for him to get going. At the knees, strike 3. Come on, Dylan. I mean, you could at least hit it like this and broke your fucking bat. 2 away. Oh, well. Why did we have Dylan Moore DH? Why wasn't that Mike Ford still? I know sometimes it depends lefty, righty, pitching and whatnot, but that doesn't make any sense. Mike Ford, I don't care if it's a lefty on a lefty. You go with a guy that's the best player, regardless if it's like percentages don't match up. Like Dylan Moore, who's got 1 hit all year, or Mike Ford, who's been our best DH all season, and it took us 60 games to find him. Dumb. And then we have to end it with Colton Wong. We're probably going to extra innings, unless Colton Wong can do something. 0 for 3 with a ribby. And when Colton Wong came to the Mariners, it was the Wong decision. He went 44, I think, trips before he got his first hit. You know, that's not good. Teoscar was like 17, and I was pissed. Popped. And, of course, runners at first and second, 2 outs, and you got fucking Colton Wong. Why was it not Mike Ford? Why Dylan Moore? See, Scott Service, you know, sometimes makes like good decisions, but sometimes you got to go against the grain. You know, lefty, 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 righty, righty, lefty. And like, oh, it can't be lefty, lefty, or we're going to give up something, or maybe we won't get something. Like, okay, guy that's hit many, many home runs in a short period of time, or a guy that's got 1 hit. I don't know. Someone needs to explain that shit to me, because that's like the most frustrating shit ever. Mariners. Brutal. Extras. All right, we're going to the top of the 10th. 2 for 4 with a run and an RBI. 1K, third baseman, American Candelario. Batting second for Washington, 0 for 4 with 3 Ks. DHing for the Nats, Joey Meneses. And batting third, I don't think it's going to be Dickerson. Looks like it's going to end up being who? 0 for 1 with a base on ball. Who is it going to be? Stone Garrett. We should be able to get out of this and finally get something, I hope. Go check up on my pup, too.
Stay tuned after tomorrow's Mariners postgame show. Monday Baseball tomorrow, 1:10. You can relive Seattle history with re-airs of the 1979 and the 2001 All-Star Games. Don't miss these Mariners classics on Root Sports, airing every day starting tomorrow through Friday. Additional airings throughout the week until the Midsummer Classic right here at T-Mobile Park.
I don't know that I've ever watched the Sunday Night Actually, I was here for the 2001 All-Star Game. It's interesting because it feels like yesterday, you know, in one sense, and you realize, okay, my goodness gracious, we're way back to 2001. But what makes you feel like it was a long time ago? When you see like the graphics package that everybody's running out.
Okay, baby. Let's go.
Garcia, the runner at second base. Candelario at the plate, takes outside.
Oh, come on.
Caballero remains in the game. Took over as a pinch runner for Gino. He's at third base now.
Topa. Come on, Topa. Oh, almost hit him in the face. Damn. Top of the 10th. We're knotted up at 4. Ghost runner at second. That was very close to hitting him in the face or his elbow. Chopper, right to Topa. Looks at second, flip to first, 1 away. Good job. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go, baby. That's what I'm talking about. Camera angles, all of them. We might go here. You want stats? We got them. You want a different look? I got you. Then we're inside the page. Let's go. And then those people that got the OCDs, like, I need them on the left. I got you. Top of the 10th. We're knotted up at 4. 1 away. Joey Meneses in the box. Come on, Topa. What a good pitch. I'll still give the visiting team love. Meneses. Terrible. 4-7 record in extras. Fuck. I know we were very, very good in 1-run wins last year, but I mean, it's been a complete shit show. We have a lot of talent. I think we have one of the top 10 pitching staffs in baseball. Starters, mid-relievers, closers when we're all healthy, or even when we're not. But again, when you're, batters, Crawford, Julio, France, Hernandez, Raleigh, Suarez, Kelenic, there's talent there, and then you got newbie with Mike Ford, and then, Caballero or Wong. Wong is terrible, but he's a good defender. But, it's like with Caballero, Mike Ford, there was question marks there. We needed a Wong replacement. We got one. We needed a DH better than A.J. Pollock or Taylor Trammell or Dylan Moore or Sam Haggerty, and we finally got Ford. He's kind of a Carlos Santana, Vogelback type, a little chubby, but he goes yard. And that's what you want for a DH. You don't want a little guy who he's going to get a single when he booms. You want a big, fat, chubby guy with big tree trunk legs, big arms, and when he fucking goes yard, that's when he booms. And when he doesn't and he gets out, it's a strikeout. That's what you want from your DH, right? Homers. So, I mean, the lineup has got talent, and I get it with Crawford. Sometimes you're going to be floating around, 240 to 250, but he's good enough to get it up to like 280, 290. But the ones that really have underachieved, Julio, France, Teoscar, and then obviously Raleigh and Suarez are lower than those guys. And when Raleigh and Suarez get clicking, then everything will be falling into place. But way more expectations for guys like Julio, France, and Teoscar. And luckily, Julio and Teoscar have slowly been getting hot within the last 15 games. But the MVP for the Mariners, at least offensively and defensively for a majority, has been Jared Kelenic, for the first 50 games. He was the only one above 300 besides France for a little bit. And obviously he's gotten a little cold. He's now down to 248. Teoscar and Julio have been much hotter, but hopefully Kelenic can heat up again. And that's a problem. One guy out of 9 hot for 50 games. That's not good. And now we got maybe 2. It's hard to be able to string consecutive hits and getting runs early when you average 5 hits and 4 runs a game. You can't really beat a lot of teams that way. And it sucks when you see pitching with so much talent with shitty records, 500 or below 500 records. But we do have guys, maybe 5, that can, get to 10 Ks, if they're on their stuff. And that's pretty rare. Castillo is obviously money. Bryce Miller might be our best pitcher, honestly. He's got maybe the best stuff. George Kirby's money. Wu has been pretty good in limited starts. Logan Gilbert might be our worst starter. And then he even got Marco Gonzalez before his injury. Normally he was the worst on our team, and he was like 4-1, 5-1. So sometimes you get surprised by like the Marco Gonzalez's, the Brian Wu's, and the Bryce Millers. But it doesn't do good things for Logan Gilbert's confidence, when he sees Kirby doing better than him, Castillo doing better than him. And then all of a sudden you bring in these new guys, Miller and Wu, and they're still doing better than you. So I don't know about Logan Gilbert, if he's going to be traded or not. But, his stuff is not electric like the others. The other guys have electric stuff. Castillo, Miller, Gilbert, Wu. Gilbert's stuff is just, it's average. Nothing exciting. He just throws. And instead of getting to 10 Ks, it's like his goal is 5. And sometimes he gets like a couple, like 1 or 2. So it's rough. We're in the top of the 10th, 4-4. There is a scoreboard up above. He said, who win? Not over yet. I hope Mariners. Come on, baby. And shout out to Sarah and Cyber with their generous donos. Chief, appreciate you. I just saw that. Sarah with a 10er. Cyberpunk with a 400. Chief will chief with a 20. Thank you, man. It really means a lot. The grind is real. Chief will chief with a 20. Payoff pitch is outside, and he walked him. Runners at first and second. Oh, baby. Bang, bang, bang. Boom, boom, boom. Bang, bang. $20 holla. Thank you, man. Let me know what you want to see for photos. Once we go to the commercial break, I'll get you some if you're still in the room, which I assume you are. Thank you, man. CW is like, you need to call the play-by-play. I got to take care of my people, though, if they're going to be supporting me. You know, especially if people are going to be doing $5, $10, $20, $400 donations. Top of the 10th, 4-4. Runners at first and second, 2 away. Root Sports, ESPN. Ya boy. I'm here. 0-1 pitch from Topa. Ruiz in the box. Popped up. Yes. Yes. Get this. Let's go. Leave 2 stranded. Let's go to the bottom of the 10th and win this shit. Chief, what do you want to see for photos? You want some like Chief photos? You want food photos? Whatever you want, man. I got you if you're still in the building. I appreciate you, brother.
Imagine a future where everyone has clean air and water, where all new parents can have safer pregnancies, where all children get the
Nice little pop out. I appreciate that. Let's go. Let's go, baby. Bottom of the 10th inning. Leading off for Seattle. 0 for 4 with a K. Shortstop, J.P. Crawford. Batting second for the Mariners. 0 for 3 with a base on ball. Center fielder, Julio Rodriguez. And batting third, 2 for 4 with 2 runs. First baseman, Ty France. So this is actually the money part of the lineup. And then right behind that is Hernandez, Raleigh, Suarez, Kelenic. So this is exactly what you would want in this situation. So, and Julio was hot yesterday, 3 for 4, I believe. So CW with a 5er. I appreciate you. Bang, 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 boom, boom, boom. Stacks on stacks, racks on racks. Cactus Jack. Bang, bang, $5 holla. Thank you so much, man. Let me know what you want to see for a photo at one point here, if you're going to be in here for a moment. If you got a favorite player, past or present in baseball, wrestler, whatever you want, I got you. $430. Let's get to $500. You don't hear that in very many streams. Let's go. Appreciate you, CW. Appreciate you, Chief with Chief. Patrick Corbin and Logan Gilbert. And normally I don't have access to this room, because there's other people in here working, but they will not be here. So I'm going to do the Mariner game early tomorrow at 1. And then I may do another freestyle stream at night, either for another game or we'll just do a freestyle stream at night where, we'll go over whatever, wrestlers, food, whatever the hell that we want to. So, but even though it's going to be early, I know not everyone is going to be able to, be involved. It's 1 o'clock on the Pacific Coast, West Coast. So it'd be like 3 in the Midwest, 4 in the East Coast, but I'll probably end up doing 2 streams more than likely. So I got you. All right, Julio Rodriguez. Runners at first and second. Let's go. First pitch, he didn't swing. This is a miracle. Oh, my God. Julio not swinging on a first pitch? Fucking pinch me. Come on, baby. Went 3 for 4 yesterday. Come on, J-Rod. All right. Can you tell I like J-Rod just a little bit? Come on, baby. Let's go, baby. Once you get a Julio ball from a game, I mean, it's game over. I mean, I was already a fan before I got the ball, and it just made it special too. It was in his rookie year too. Nothing like that. And I mean, could get a ball from any player and then to get Julio last year, I mean, what are the chances? Not very high. Pitch is low and outside. 3-0 count to Julio. I don't think I've seen Julio just stand there and take 4 pitches in a row in his career. He's always swinging, and that's why when he swings for the fences instead of swinging for singles and doubles. Oh, we got a violation on the pitcher. Gang, gang, gang. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bases loaded. Bottom of the 10th, 4-4. Nobody out. We're about to win the damn game. Let's fucking go. Next up, Ty fucking France, baby. Oh, yeah. We're about to win. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Gino loves it. Let's go. They're in trouble. They're in trouble. Yeah, don't chase. Do not chase. Julio has a tendency of chasing, and he needs to learn. Once he learns, then there'll be an opportunity for 40 to 50 home runs, maybe for a few years, and then maybe he can mold himself into a Hall of Famer and be a perennial all-star. But not only that, and be the face of Seattle and the face of Major League Baseball and be on the MLB The Show and all that, but we want him to be able to improve, be a great defender like Griffey and be a great hitter. And not only swing for the fences, but get singles and doubles and triples. Stop pressing so much and swinging on the first 2 pitches. Because, pitchers know that you swing at anything. And, if you don't realize that and you don't change it up, you're going to have a shitload of strikeouts and you're not going to be in the Hall of Fame. And you're just going to be known as a good player and not a Hall of Famer. And I want him to be a Hall of Famer like Griffey. So I hope that he picks it up. Bases loaded. Ty France pops up. Foul. That's a souvenir. Oh, it bounced. Grab it. Oh, my gosh. There was an amazing catch by a fan with one of the initial home runs that we had. And it was crazy. It was a Teoscar homer. He landed on a girl, kind of smashed her a little bit as he dove back into the seat. But it was a home run ball, and he dove backwards and got it with his mitt. It was awesome. Hopefully he said, sorry to the girl, but he was such into like momentum. And, he had all his, he was just all excited. He probably didn't understand what just happened. But it'll probably be on SportsCenter. I mean, I haven't watched SportsCenter in 20 years, but if they still do that top 10 thing, there's a chance it could be on there. All right, bottom of the 10th. It's knotted up at 4. Bases loaded. Ty France in the box, 2 for 4 today. Let's get the fucking dub. Let's go, Ty. 2-2 pitch. Damn it. Popped it up. Easy out. Easy. Ruiz, 1 away. God damn it, Ty. Next up, right fielder, Teoscar Hernandez. And Teo's been hot. He homered. He's been hot like Julio. So, come on, bro. I got 2 photos of you. Let's get it, baby. Let's win this shit. Be electric. Let's go. Let's go, baby. $435. Let's get to $500. Strike 1 from Teo. You got OCD? I'm here. You don't? Then I'm here. You want me bigger? I'm here. You don't want to look at the ugly mug stats? We're here. And then we go here. We're everywhere. Let's go. 0-1 pitch. Almost hit him. Did he go around? No, he did not. 1-1 count. Like, sub, donate, or fucking don't. Hang out with your boy. Bottom of the 10th. Bases loaded. 1 out. 1-1 pitch. Teoscar crushes it foul. Off towards first base. 1-2 count. But if you do sub or like or donate, it would be greatly appreciated. 2 grand slams this season by J.P. Crawford and Taylor Trammell. And I got your Sting photo here, but I didn't want to pull it up while the game was going on. It wouldn't be appropriate when we're in the fucking bottom of the 10th, bases loaded, and I'm just pulling up Sting photos of him in the trench coat and the bat for you. But I will get you those photos. 1-2 pitch. Pitch is outside. Good eye. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Come on, Teoscar. Let's go, Teo. I got you, bud. So fresh and so clean. Let's go yard. Come on, baby. 2-2 pitch. Chopper towards third. Foul. Count still stays 2-2. Teoscar 1 for 3 today. Hard hit rate. The MLB average is 39.4% this season for Teoscar. 48.7, about 10 points more. But again, he didn't get his first hit until his 18th at bat, 17th or 18th. So it was a few games. And I was like, why did we pay all this money for the Blue Jays? They already fleeced us once for Robbie Ray. 2-2 pitch. Pitch is outside. Check swing. Did he go? He got him. Fuck. Oh, a very non-Mariner chain moment. Fuck, man. Damn it. 2 away. What the hell is going on here? All right, baby. Big dumper. Catcher. Cal Raleigh. Come on, baby. Be the hero. We need you to be the hero. Come on, big dumper. Let's go. I got 3 for you. Not 1, not 2, but 3. Let's go. Come on, baby. Be the hero. Bases loaded, 2 outs. Good eye, 2-0 count. Maybe we can just walk it in. Maybe we don't even need to swing. Maybe we just take 2 more balls. Then the guy from third walks in and we win the game. I'll take a win that way. I mean, no matter what it takes, when you're floating at 500 or below, you'll take a win any way that you can get it. Balk, runner goes in, whatever. Fucking A. Check swing. How do you have bases loaded with nobody out and you don't even get a run? Bases loaded with no outs and you don't even get a run. Fuck! You got to be... Oh, my God. I mean, I get it. I mean, if there's a guy on first, a guy on second, but bases loaded? I mean, I can deal with that if it happens in the first inning or in the third inning and I get pissed off and it happens twice, or there's a double play a couple times and I'm like, God, again. But execution was absolutely terrible. And we had a nice part of the lineup too. I don't know if we're going to win this game now. I mean, we still can, but oh my God. All right, let me get you this Sting photo. Maybe this will help. I gotta go check up on my puppy too. I appreciate your support. $5 holla. And when you donate, you'll get something cool in return, whatever your favorite thing is. Some people do food. Some people do wrestlers. Some people do, MLB, past or present. There you go, baby. I appreciate you. I'll get you another one too.
His second home start, the 5th big league start of his young major league career. Wu pitched very well in this game tonight, Angie.
Yeah, he was great. 7 strikeouts.
I got one more before we get back to action here. I got to give you the old, right? You have different variations of newer, but when he had the hair and, that's what we remember back in the day when wrestling was good in the 80s and 90s, right? When wrestling was good. All right, appreciate you, man. Oh, super nostalgic, man. That's why a lot of times we'll look through, stuff from the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, going through Stone Cold and The Rock and the DX and NWO, but even going further back, with Ultimate Warrior and Hogan and Andre the Giant and Piper and, $1 Million Man and Jake the Snake. I mean, I can name drop for days. I mean, I've been watching wrestling since 85 and I haven't stopped. So obviously it's not as good on the AEW or the WWE side or any federation for that matter compared to the stuff in the 80s and 90s. But if you're a fan, you stick with it. All right, we're in the top of the 11th. We're knotted up at 4. Ghost Runner at second. Gott on the mound. Smith in the box. We'll give them some love too. I'm not a hater. 1 for 4 with a K for Dominic Smith. Right back to the mound. And yeah, baby, 1 away. There we go. I'll take it. Top of the 11th. Runner at third, 1 away. We're knotted up at 4. Chavis. God, the records are just terrible for both of our teams. Misses high, ball 1. Come on, baby. Let's go. We got to find a way to irk out this win. 1-0 pitch is low in the dirt. 2-0 count. Top of the 11th. We're knotted up at 4. Runner at third. Vargas in the box. 273 average. 2 homers, 10 ribbies in 2023. Pitch on the edge. 2-1 count. Let's go, baby. Everyone's got a preference. Everyone's got different views. 2-1 pitch. Pitch is low. 3-1 count. Come on, baby. There's your breakdown. Let's go. 3-1 pitch from Gott. Walked him. Fuck. Not good. Should the Ducks move in the Big Ten for football? Hell no. Oregon State are not going to leave, man. No matter if the money is there and the Ducks are like a money team. We got Nike, man. You know what I mean? Like, if you live here in Oregon, you're either a Beaver or a Duck, like right from birth, you know, and then you're a Blazer fan. And then, you know, most people are going to be Mariner fans because it's close. Or if you have like a special thing that happened to you, you know. And then NFL teams are going to vary in Oregon. You know, not everyone's going to be a Seahawk fan. You know, you got a lot of like, you know, Charger fans, Seahawk, Raiders, Niners, and every fucking team out there, you know, since you don't have a team here. Everyone's got the parlay. Everyone's like, that's why you get some people wanting to see who's winning, and then you got all the people worried about the bet. They're like hoping that the Mariners or the Nats win this so they can win their parlay.
Neither team could score in the 10th. The Nationals certainly threatening here in the 11th.
Yeah, I live here in Oregon. Born and bred. Haven't been able to go too many places, you know. Born here, Oregon, Washington, California, Japan a couple times. And then that was when I was real young. And then I've been to Illinois. I've been to Chicago, like for business. And I got to see a Bulls game against the Warriors. And I got to see it in front of Wrigley, but I didn't get to see a game because it was at night. But checked out Wrigley and then, you know, did the bar hopping thing before, you know, going back. Some of the Chicago people are pretty crazy, man. Like, and of course I'm crazy too. So I'm wearing Green Apple Oregon gear from top to bottom, you know, like Herbert jersey or, you know, whatever. 2 away. Nice job, Colton. Yeah, but the people were pretty cool. It is scary there, though, For real. Yeah, but I was blessed enough to meet Ken Griffey Jr. when I was a kid. So that's why, I am Northwest Sports Fanatics. If I didn't meet Ken Griffey Jr. when I was fucking 7 years old, when he was a rookie, that changes your life forever. If you live in Oregon or Washington and you have a chance to meet like Gary Payton or Clyde Drexler or Griffey, who do you think kids are going to choose? And then I still got the autograph to this day. Look how much time he took. Ken Griffey Jr. He's got the cleanest signature, and that's one of the best signatures I've ever seen. I've seen, hundreds of Griffey rookies. Damn it, they just scored. Fuck. I love Griffey because he takes the time with his signature. Damn. 2-run RBI double. We might have just lost the game. Fuck. What a big hit by Lane Thomas, their best player. That W, that Nats, this one. Nice job. Nice job. I used him on the thumb yesterday, so I knew that, he was going to come alive at least yesterday or today, and he's been good both days, so. So Thomas just doubled the right, and then Chavis scored and Vargas scored. Now it's 6-4, as you can see behind me or above me. Still not impossible, but we pretty much lost the game. We had bases loaded, no outs, and we didn't get one run. That could have been over. Any normal team that's good would have been able to at least get one guy to sacrifice, deep hit, tag up from third, game over, or something. You don't go from bases loaded, no outs. Like, you have to be a terrible team not to execute on that, and we are. Ground ball right up the middle. All right, at least we got him at second, and the inning is over, but now we're down 7-4. Jesus Christ. Well, I think it's pretty much over, but, you never know. Last year, if we played this type of game and we were in extras and we were down 7-4 last year in the hot streak we were on, maybe 1 out of every 4 games like this, we would come back from and win. But today, there's the percentage of coming back and winning this game is like, at this point, momentum-wise, I would say probably 5% or less. So, but that's why we watch and we play these games and watch these games. Well, it's not over yet, but pretty fucking close. Oh, man. That's rough.
Who got that new DQ cake batter cookie dough blizzard? All that cake batter flavor and confetti cookie dough? Dad, you said you'd wait until you got home before giving me.
Must have been all those Sting photos you wanted me to pull up. Bad luck. He's like, give me the Sting photos. And then the Mariners just shit the bed. It's all good. I like old school wrestling stuff. We went through, you did the Sting, and then went that route. And then we did a little like old school. I grew up in the 80s. I was born in 82. So, most people, when they look at me, they're like, dude, there's no way that you're 41. Most people think I'm in my 20s or my 30s, which is humbling, but a great era, to go through this. You either lived it or you didn't. You either understand or you don't. So, no, you're good, bro. I'm just fucking playing with you. I'm good. We're going to need a Hulk type of performance after fucking what just happened. An electric performance. Golly. We lost our chance. Jose Caballero in the box for the first time today. He's much better than Colton Wong. Wong's better at defense, but Jose's the better overall player and hitter. So, there's no real point of playing Colton Wong unless you just need to get him some reps. And then Mike Ford is obviously the best DH we've had. I mean, he hit 2 homers against the Angels. He hit 2 in one game, I believe, against the Marlins. And then that's when we kind of knew that, okay, this is the guy. So, some Macho Man, brother. We actually looked at some Macho Man earlier. Ultimate Warrior, Legion of Doom, Road Warriors. 2-0 count. Popped foul. Like, sub, donate, or fucking don't. Yeah, I love me some Macho Man. I usually don't cry or like get emotional because I'm a big collector. You know, I collect, McFarlane starting lineups, wrestling figures. And I mean, I've been collecting since I was like 3, 4, or 5 years old. And a lot of my stuff is, in the package, but I got a lot of loose, cool stuff from like the 80s and 90s. But, I didn't get too emotional with too many people passing, but Macho Man and Scott Hall, those ones got me. Those ones got me good. All right, come on, baby. I'm not wearing the chain for nothing. And it gets the fucking Nats. Come on. Bottom of the 11th, we got the Ghost Runner at second. Now, if you didn't have the Ghost Runner, if you're down by 3, then it's like, oh, there's no chance. But there's just the simple fact that the Ghost Runner is there, it kind of opens up the door, and that's why they did that, so that they could, make the games end earlier, especially when teams are cold, and then, just to be able to get a hit. Sometimes they take like, the 10th, the 11th, the 12th. So I understand why they did it. A lot of times I don't really like it, but I guess if it helps you win, fuck it. Jose popped up. 1 away, tagging up. All right, advances to third. Cal Raleigh. 1 away. All right, come on, Jared. Come on, Jared Kalanick, my boy. Come on, baby. Out of the zone, 1-0 count. Come on, baby, don't give up. 1-0 pitch. Pitch is high. 2-0 count. I like it. Just force them to walk you. It's okay to have a little pride and like not get your pride too hurt. Just take the fucking walk sometimes. Like sometimes, you just take the fucking walk and, good things happen. Just let the pitcher earn the strikes. Like right there, it was a 2-0 count. The pitch was high. It would have been an easy 3-0 count, but Jared went for the fences right there. Just be patient. Especially if you're going to go for a swing, go for a 3-0 swing, not a 2-0 swing when the guy couldn't even hit the plate in the first 2. Come on, man. Marinez. Bottom of the 11th, 7-4 Nationals. Runner at third, 1 away. Wild pitch. Oh, should have tried to go, but Cal Raleigh at third. He never would have made it home. Cal Raleigh would have started running. He easily would have been out. Damn. If we had like a fast guy right there like JP, maybe we would have scored right there. Almost hit him in the foot and then went behind the ump. Oh, baby. Oh, 95.6% for the Nats to win. That's just lovely. Chopped. Foul towards first base. 3-2 count. Three, 2 pitch. Chop foul. Come on, Jared. Time called. It's all good. Time for me to have another Jared photo. Let's go, baby. Left side. Right side. Strong side. Let's go. Got him looking. Struck him out. And that was the pitch you should have swung on, not the 2-0 pitch. 7-4, bottom of the 11th. He's been on a little bit of a dip. Like first 50 games, he was really our MVP. And in the last 15, he's been pretty ice cold. He had a game or two where he started to come back a little bit, but yeah. And why do we have Dylan Moore in there instead of Mike Ford? It's like when you have the DH, and it's like, I get it, you want to give other guys a chance, but it's like you have a chance to win with Mike Ford's swing. You have a 0% chance to win with Dylan Moore. The guy's got one hit in 7 games, and he just came back from an injury where he was gone all year. Anybody but Dylan Moore at this point. Even Colton Wong at this point. God. So this is a beginning to an end here. Pitches inside, almost hit him.
Yeah, you can't help but look at what happened starting in the 9th inning. To your point, Aaron, it just
Bottom of the 11th, Nats 7, Mariners 4. Runner at third, 2 outs, 1-1 pitch. Big swing and a miss. And Service has done that a couple times. And I know sometimes they do it because it's like if you have a left-handed pitcher, then they want to have not a left-handed hitter. You want to switch it up, based off if the pitcher is a left-handed pitcher or a righty. But got him looking, and the game is over. Damn it. Congratulations to the Nats. I got nothing bad to say. I'll give them some love. They earned it today. Well, especially when you have bases loaded, right? You got bases loaded, and you can't get it done. And Lane Thomas was money for them. Final score in the 11th, Nationals 7, Mariners 4. And we beat them yesterday 8-4. So, they get the payback 7-4. And then we play tomorrow at 1, and I will do that game. And then I'll probably do a freestyle stream or another baseball game later tomorrow night, depending on who's playing and the schedule. I think a lot of the games end early. So I'll do the Mariner game at 1 Pacific time, and then maybe either a freestyle stream or another game. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. So I appreciate you guys very, very much. I guess, Matt, at this point we got 18 minutes to get to the 4-hour mark, and then we'll probably end the stream at that point. So whoever's in the room, based off either donos or just personal preference, usually it's fans' choice. So whatever photos you guys want to be able to kind of, go through, we can go that route. So it could be old school wrestlers. It could be baseball players. We can go into food. You guys let me know where you want to go, and then we'll go that route. But typically when we go this route, we'll turn this off, and then we'll leave Seattle, and then the vibe will be different. And then from there we decide what we want to do. So you let me know where we're going to go, but we'll go for about 18 more minutes to the 4-hour mark. If any other of the mods or any of the OGs decide to, pop in after the game, at least there's 18, 17 minutes for them to do it. And then you guys let me know where you want to go. I don't really care where we go tonight. If we want to do food, I'm going to delete some of these other photos and whatnot. But if we want to go food or wrestlers or baseball players or NFL, college football, or you want to go something fucking old school like this, or like this, I'm cool. And whatever you guys want to do, I'm about it. So you let me know. All right, I got to watch a little bit of the Mariners post game. All right, we got 15, 16 minutes.
Well, we certainly did not expect to see the Nationals celebrating a win tonight. Mariners had several chances in this one for the Nationals.
I think I might go food. Usually food is a winner at the end. I'm super hungry right now, but we can do pulled pork and brisket and burgers and
Two strong innings, and the Nats again blink the Mariners in the 10th and the 11th inning. I think we would all agree. I know we're Mariners fans, but Mariners should have won this game.
Should have won the game.
And that's a tough one too.
Should have won the game. We dropped the ball. Yeah, that burger looks good.
Knowing that some of the dropped off the chinnies, you mentioned the extra innings, especially the bottom of the 10th, man. That was rough. Yeah, we'll talk about that one in a second. But right now, our Tacoma Subaru game recap showing you how the Nets did this. We'll get it all the way back to the first inning. This was a wild. Like, we broke to really know. Cavalerio was picked off, but he's going to be able to score from first. KFP's tomorrow, 2 p.m. on the field number 1 here at T-Mobile Park for Brian Wu. Yeah, that's a tough one. Just turn it around, looks he's waving against feet underneath him, throws the ball away. But no work is vital first. Teoscar Hernandez does that to right field. Absolutely crushed. That is some big boy power right there. We're going to talk more about Teoscar a little bit later, what he's doing with secondary pitches.
Oh, I'm so hungry right now. I'm going to check up on my puppy, but we only got 15 minutes here. I'm going to go check on her real quick. Oh, burnt ends. Look at that. Everybody loves food. You can't go wrong there.
Just a little bit more on that play. That, you know, he's within a great play, don't get me wrong, but I'm going to get that one back. Yeah, 3-2. Nats bases loaded, no outs. Garcia, a line drive to center field. It's a sacrifice fly, but Brash would get out of that. No more damage, so we're tied at 3. Going to the bottom of the 7th inning.
Oh, that one looks good.
A fielder's choice at a close play, coming out at the plate, or was he? Well, yeah, exactly. So that replay is a good thing, too, because you look at Jerry Killing. It looks like he's got away and switched the result. But I'm looking, by the way. Look, I know if he gets thrown at you, you're kind of shaking your head. You know, be aggressive. For the 8th inning, the closer in for the 8th inning, and Ruiz, the catcher, greets him with the backdoor side of things. So good for Paul Sewell. Hearing with the fastball up at the top of the strike zone. See Ruiz. Getting that bat headed out and taking the right field. A scoreless 10th to the top of the 11th inning. Lane Thomas off of cover got just brought in from the just activated from the IL. 2-0. And thrown into the Wolves first time coming back. Since you mentioned coming back to the IL here in the 11th, waiting hours to get back out there. Tough one, it's too much play. Yeah, 6-4. Then Garcia's had a nice series. This is hit number 4 for him. He does get thrown out in second, but Thomas able to score. It's 7-4. Tough one here, just adding on the extra innings. That's where it all fell apart for the Seattle Mariners offensively, defensively, the bullpen. What's going on late? And that would be at 7-4. And you mentioned Teoscar Hernandez, what he has done in June through 22 games. He got a home run tonight. He got a team leading 15. You look at the numbers, and he told us that he was a slow starter, and true to his word, he's really big.
Damn, this next one is crazy.
This is massive, not just for Teoscar Hernandez, obviously for him. Huge mistake.
Damn, cheese overload.
Pitches middle of the plate, better than anyone. But I will say this for the rest of the lineup too. The swings and misses are starting to go away. And one thing that's really stood out to me, he's just not missing pitches out over the plate. You mentioned the slow start. One thing with Teoscar Hernandez, we've talked a lot about how much he chases, but he was missing pitches middle of the plate as well. You look at it. I mean, we're talking 21% miss in the middle of the plate, which is so high, down to 8% in the month of June. That just tells you he's just recognizing spin so much better on pitches middle of the plate. Yeah, so the good Teoscar with the home run, and then missed opportunities, especially in that 10th inning. And we bring in from the Ford Sports Desk, Kayla Bro, another baseball analyst for you. Kayla, you have the unenviable task, I guess, of taking us through that bottom of the 10th inning, bases loaded, and no outs.
Yeah, there's a lot of things in this ballgame that you can circle as mistakes for the offense for the Mariners. Over 10 tonight with runners in scoring position, and they left 9 runners on base. But the 10th inning is the one that you're going to circle as the one that you want back for the middle of your lineup. Tons of opportunities with the bases loaded. They intentionally walk J.P. Crawford, then Julio gets a walk, and Weeks at this point was struggling on the mound, struggling to find the strike zone. 4 straight balls to Julio, and then you have Teoscar Hernandez swinging at pitches outside of the zone, and then Cal Raleigh comes up, has a similar opportunity, and you hate going back to the dugout, feeling that right there, the check swing on a pitch that is questionable on a 2-0 count. And those are the opportunities for this Mariners team that you have to capitalize on. Would have been nice to see a sac fly there, something easy, a ground ball up the middle to get the walk off, but just not able to do it tonight.
And we were ready to celebrate, weren't we, Kevin?
Yeah, we were. I was ready.
Exactly. Yeah, the C's ready to throw. We were ready, but just never came. Kelly, they get back to her a little bit later on in the show. And, well, last night, 8 runs. Today, they get 4, but again, missed opportunities. We're just waiting to see the consistency of the offense. But I think we've seen some consistency at-bats from Cal Raleigh over the last maybe 10 games.
Yeah, well, he's really, you go back to the road trip, right? We talked about him in the pregame show, just getting to breaking balls, which has made such a difference. Hitting 450 against breaking balls. We talked about it before tonight. And one thing with Cal Raleigh, look at it, there's another break ball to get to. Not the best swing, I get it. But look at the exit on that pitch, just recognizing the speed. I spoke to Tony Andrews before the game, and the one thing they said, listen, if you get 4 on the fastball, you're behind, that's okay. We want you to start picking up some of the spin on the breaking ball. All of a sudden, the strikeout numbers have started to dwindle for him. He's getting in a way better place, hit with 2 strikes, but just picking up different pitches and being able to cover both sides of the plate.
Yeah, a couple of hits, and again, it flat out deep to center field. Easily could have gone for a double. So again, like I said, hitting the ball hard, recognizing, looking really good at the dish. Well, let's go back to today's starter, Brian Wu, making his 5th turn, coming off the win in New York. Was your local formula key to the game? Wu working on some secondary pitches. How did he do tonight?
Yeah, well, he didn't throw a whole lot. I mean, he was 74% on the fastball, which was interesting. And it's one of these things when you're a young pitcher or a veteran pitcher, we've seen this throughout time, where all of a sudden you get that feel for a pitch and you get weak contact. Hey, stick with it. But I will say this, man, with Brian Wood, we talked a lot about trending with Teoscar Hernandez, Cal Raleigh. You look at one thing with this guy, this is 5th start, right? So nothing but fastballs against Corey Dickerson, right? Then you get to the changeup, not awesome. This is what I love. He ducks it up, right? So he turns the changeup, gets some weak contact, and then he goes right back to it. That tells you the confidence is starting to get up with that pitch in those big counts, man. There's nothing worse when your heart rate's through the roof and you got to come up with a big pitch, especially when you just change your grip. We talked about that. And here's the slider. Look at that depth on the slider. So both the secondary pitches, again, the percentage wasn't super high, but we're still starting to see some good trends from Brian Wu. I love the fastball, don't get me wrong, especially that two-seamer that goes in on hands. Love it. But, man, when he gets that changeup pairing with that two-seamer, he's going to be tough. It really is.
And I like the way, as everybody does on the staff, he attacks and he throws strikes. For sure. 88 pitches through 5.
Oh, damn, that one looks good.
Strikes.
Yeah, I am super hungry now.
Nice job. He's no decision tonight, though, unfortunately, for the Mariners. Well, let's take a look now at our T-Mobile coverage cam highlights from tonight's game. A little defense, flashing a little leather. The Mariners are. Game Spire on the mound in relief. How about the little double play? Pitcher's best friend. We love it. It's JP.
Oh, I'm hungry now.
A little easy.
I am hungry now. Well, it didn't end up happening. I knew getting a sweep on this team was not going to be easy or even possible. So we won yesterday 8-4. They won today 7-4. Bases loaded. Couldn't get anybody, with no outs. Shit happens. So hopefully we'll be able to rebound tomorrow. Play at 1:00 Pacific time. I should be able to do the stream. Shout out to Sarah. Shout out to Cyberpunk with a big $400 dono, really holding it down. Shout out to everyone, Chief and everyone else that donated. Appreciate you guys very, very much. It means a lot. And like I said, I'll be back. CW, can't forget about you as well. Love you guys, and I appreciate you guys very, very much. And I'll be back tomorrow, and we'll grind it out for the Mariner game at 1 Pacific time, and then possibly another freestyle stream or another game later on in the evening between like 6 or 7 p.m. start. So I love you guys. Appreciate you guys very, very much. Shout out to everyone that shared, commented, donated. Thank you so much. And I got one question for you. Who talk sports like us? Your boy Ryan. Northwest Sports Fanatics, and I'm out. Gang.